Good afternoon, everybody, and you're very welcome here to Waterville. We're here for the final of the South Kerry Senior Football Championship. It is the meeting of St Mary's and Skellig Rangers. St Mary's going for their 40th title. Skellig Rangers were last successful in 2006. For the next 45 minutes or thereabouts, we will be doing our build-up, including the match parade, and we'll be going to the Skellig Rangers camp in just a moment, and to the St Mary's camp as well. So do stay with us from now until about 4:15 or thereabouts this afternoon. We'll bring you all the full live commentary from Waterville. First of all, we're going to the Skellig Rangers camp, and I'm joined here by the chairman of Skellig Rangers, Mark Conway. I have two former players who, in actual fact, were very instrumentally involved in 2006. Brian Hickey was named the man of the match in that game, and John O'Driscoll was the man that lifted the Jack Murphy Cup as captain. You're all very welcome, lads. Mark, we'll start with yourself. A big day for the club.
It is, Gary. Look, it's South Kerry Championship is huge down here, and it's great to be in a final. This is our second final in 3 years, and look, it's great for the club. There's fierce excitement in the village all week. The last 2 weeks really since the semi-final against Waterville. Flags are up, all the young fellas are wearing the Skellig Rangers jerseys, and it's great to see. It's
probably new to a lot of the younger generations, and they wouldn't be used to a day like today.
Well, exactly, but even we'll say the guys in the panel, we have a panel of 33 today. Well, please God, it's a first for a lot of them, and please God, we'll get plenty more in the next few years. It's all about experience and experiencing the parade, the minute of silence if there is, the excitement, the bit of hype, and not to get overawed by it. And look, we're here to win the game, and we're here, please God, for the next. Some of these players will be here in 20 years' time, possibly toggy out, just like some of the guys that were here in 2006. I think there's two members of the squad this year were there in 2006, and they're still there, and that's testament to them. But it just goes to show young fellas can still be there in 15, 20 years' time.
Mark, before I get your thoughts on the day, what in general has the year been like, the club on and off the field?
Look, I suppose, we started off the South Kerry League, usual, is played in tough conditions. We had a lot of guys away as the year went on. A couple of guys came back from Australia. We had 5 or 6 young fellas coming in from the minor squad. They were playing minor and senior, so you were trying to embed them into the squad, get them used to senior football. It's a huge step up, everybody knows that, especially if you're only 17. But look, we had a comfortable league. We stayed in Division 4 comfortably. The Junior Championship, look, as everybody knows at this stage, we were probably the only team in the county that won 2 games but didn't get out of the group. It came down to literally 1 point. We won our last game by 8. If we had won by 9, we were through. So look, things have been building along, and at the start of the year, the South Kerry Championship, the Jack Murphy, is probably the main thing for most clubs down here.
And there's a big project planned, Mark, I suppose, in 2026 for around the club and the dressing rooms area and the pitch in general.
That's correct, Gary. Look, I suppose as a relatively new chairperson, we're trying to bring a bit of enthusiasm and a bit of development off the field as well as on the field. We have a walkway going to be started in the next couple of weeks. Please God, it'll be finished by the end of January. We've had great support locally, and look, it'll be a great facility, safety-wise as well as health-wise and everything. It's great for people's mental health as well as physical health. Older people, it might be a social event there a couple of times in the week for people to meet up, and that's what it's all about, really. That's what the GA is about in the community.
Yeah, Mark, stay with us. I'm going to bring in 2 former players here now, Brian Hickey and John Driscoll, who I mentioned in 2006 were, they were the men that walked behind the band, and they were involved in South Kerry Final Day. Brian, what's it like to be involved as a player in South Kerry Final Day?
I didn't experience too many of them now, to be honest. I suppose we were lucky enough. We won our first one in 2006. And I suppose one of the things that happened that year is we actually played 2 of them because we had a draw 3 days earlier. And I think if I recall right, I think the replay was on Stephen's Day. So look, it is nerve-wracking enough because, and even I suppose no matter what level you play at, it's really local. There's going to be a big crowd. There's an element of local bragging rights, and I suppose a lot of the time you're judged on South Kerry Championships throughout your whole career, and you can do whatever you want in a county league, but South Kerry Championship is where you're judged, really. So look, there is always that little bit of pressure on the players, but look, you just hope they enjoy it. I suppose we were very fortunate that the first one we were in, we won it, to be honest. So look, that from our point of view, I suppose I won't say it was easy after that, but we thought we were going to win everyone else, but we didn't.
John, you lifted the cup that day. I suppose there's no better feeling as a captain to lift the Jack Murphy.
No, Gary, no, it was a great evening, a great honour to be captain of the Skellig Rangers at that time. And I think I said in the day it was the most important thing I ever caught in my life, and I say still is one of the most important things I ever caught. But so no, it's magical. Like it's so Kerry, the so Kerry Championship, it just brings everybody out. Like you can see all the big crowds at all the local games so far, and so everybody loves it. Like so, there's 6 other teams that'd love to be here today, and we're here and we're here to win, and I hope they'll turn on a good performance today.
Brian, talk to me about your meetings against St. Mary's, the games you can remember or recollect down through the years, because we have met them a good few times, not only in finals but semi-finals and quarter-finals.
We have, yeah, but sure, look, we've always been the underdog as we are today. The Marys, I suppose, look, we're a rural club, and not to make any excuses, but population equivalent is totally different. Look, but it's no different to any other district. The Marys are the town. That's the thing, and they're the town team, and everybody wants to beat the town team. And I suppose, look, that probably brings an added pressure to the Marys themselves as well, that everybody wants to beat them every year. But I think they're, unfortunately for everyone else, they've learned how to handle that. But look, it's always tough against the Marys, and I suppose one of the things that I suppose we all know, a town forward, you've 6 forwards to mark. Maybe the rural clubs you might get away with concentrating on 2 or 3 fellas, and 2 or 3 of the marquee forwards. But look, no different today. There's six quality enough forwards there that need to be tied down, and I suppose that's always the thing with the Marys. And the other thing is that they won't feel any. They probably won't panic. I saw them out against Drummond this year again, and Drummond had them on the rack there for a while, but they stayed composed and they didn't panic. But so look, there's no doubt about it. You're always up against it when you come up against the Marys. But look, the reality is, I think our own team here, these players are the last team to beat the Marys in the South Kerry Championship. And the year before it, we were 10 points down, and we came back to draw the game on the 68th minute, and we got turned over by a point in the end. So look, these boys will have a bit about them, and they'll, we have a bit of experience in that front. So I don't think we'll fear them, to be honest with you. And I hope we have a right good cut off it now, and I think we've a great chance actually. Yeah.
John, the 2 performances to date by Skellig Rangers against Valentia and the semi-final against over Waterville, would those performances win you today's game, or do they need to go up a little notch, do you think?
Well, you'll have to go up a notch because you're up against Division 2 team number 1. The day against Valencia, we played well. The day in town, the Waffle game, was kind of a game just had to be won on the day. Really, like it was. I think the lads were saying the pitch was very heavy afterwards. But this pitch, today, like there'll be no excuses. It's a lovely day. So, but we'll have to up our performance, and we'll have to come out to the blocks early and get stuck into the game with the Marys today. And I think talking to the boys, like they have that in their heads.
And Brian, I suppose you mentioned 3 years ago, and you were the manager that day, and you beat them here after extra time. I mean, a lot of it, would you say, would it be tactically today that would get maybe Skellig over the line, or I suppose the matchups would be critical anyway from the start?
Yeah, right. Look, there will be an element of tactical play, all right. But look, we all know in the South Kerry Championship, you need 12 to 13 players performing in a final if you're going to win. And look, when it comes to championships, sometimes tactics could go out the window here today very fast, and it'll be man and man. And I suppose, one of the things, I suppose, watching St. Mary's in the semi-5, seen all the games thankfully this year now, and I've enjoyed watching them. But I suppose watching St. Mary's, St. Michael's Fellmore probably stood off them a little bit and invited them on, in the semi-final, I thought. And look, we all know what Brian is capable of, and look, the reality is he can't receive a pass on his own side of the field, and he can in the opposition side of the field. So I would like to see at some point our guys, maybe pressing that bit higher up the pitch and engaging a little bit earlier than Ballyfellmore did, because they probably invited them into their own half, which is always a dangerous thing. And look, while they did well enough defensively, it turned into death by 1,000 cuts really, because they're just inviting them on. So look, in fairness to our lads, I think they've played very controlled over the last few games, and particularly the Waterville game was quite cagey and quite defensive. But look, I'd just like to see them maybe push up and maybe not be as maybe risk averse. I'd love to see a few high balls, to be honest, going into that full forward line, just to test the Marys, and let's try and push them in the back foot. Because look, the reality is, if you don't go out and go after them, they'll just take you in frees and points, and they have fellas who can take the score. So there will be elements of the game that we'll just have to go after it a little bit as well.
Lads, I'll go around the house and get your predictions. So then I know what the heart says. So what's the head saying today, Mark?
Look, there's no doubt who the favourites are today. The bookies have them as firm favourites, but I've no doubt our guys are quietly confident. If we play as well as we can and a small bit of luck, we'll be bringing Jack Murphy home this evening.
John, call it for me.
Skellig Rangers by 2.
Brian.
Unfortunately, the heart has always ruled ahead for me, Gary, so it's Skellig Rangers by 2 as well.
Great stuff, lads. I want to thank you all very much. Enjoy the game, and we wish you the best of luck. Thanks a million. We'll take a break here from Waterville, and we'll be speaking to the St Mary's camp in just a couple of minutes' time.
We want to wish our 2 cousins Ben playing for St Mary's and Keith playing for Skellig Rangers in the South Kerry Championship final this evening. We know something for sure that one of them is going to be holding the Jack Murphy Cup. Yeah! Boys!
Back to Waterville. We're here now with the St Mary's camp, and we're just about 45 minutes from throw. And don't forget that we will have the official parade in about 25 or 30 minutes time. I'm joined now by 2 former players from St Mary's, Conor Quirk and Gerard Driscoll, and the chairperson, not man but person, of St Mary's, and that is Sheila Quigley. Sheila, a huge day for you, but you're well used to this sort of a day.
You are, but I don't think you ever get too used to a final. Our boys take it all in their stride, and hopefully all go well for us today.
What's the buzz like around Carsavine?
A bit quieter this year, but it's good. Yeah, flags are flying, people have the colours out, and it's good.
I was just saying to the Skellig Rangers camp there, it's a bit unique for them because a lot of the young lads growing up have never been involved in a final, but I suppose it's different from the Carsavine side of things, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. These boys have played many a final. They have a lot of medals in their pockets and things like that, but I think everyone is as precious as the one before it, and I think they don't take it for granted. They know a final is a final, you have to go out, you have to play it, and you have to win it.
Come here, what has it been like for the club on and off the field this year? Any projects in line or done, and what has things been like?
We got a lovely new scoreboard put up below in our club, in our grounds. There's projects in the cards, hopefully to get done next year, and it's busy. There's a lot of work in clubs now. It's not just the normal run-of-the-mill stuff. There's a lot of behind the scenes. Obviously, we welcome volunteers. It's hard to get people to volunteer now, so we'd welcome anybody that wants to come on board and do a few jobs, big or small.
Underage is strong, which I can particularly note your under-12s. They came up against us a few times. They're good.
Yeah, the under-12s, but I think you go up along the 14s, the 16s, the numbers aren't as strong. The minors were joined up in a lot of these levels. So I think the future in South Kerry is kind of bleak in that sense, and that numbers are down. In one case, there's 5 clubs joined together, so that's the future of South Kerry football. So hopefully we keep all those young fellas playing, and that's what's important.
I'll come back and get your views on the match in just a few minutes. We'll turn to 2 lads that know well what it is to lift the Jack Murphy Cup. 7 of them, is it, Garrod?
Yes, that's true, Gary, thank you.
Can you remember the first one?
Young lad, 95. I was on the panel that day. Great memories from that day. Jesus, that's 30 years ago. No, that's a bit scary. Brilliant time, beat by from in the final. Some epic battle. Just remember the lads played a great game that day. Obviously then 0-1 then was when I suppose I was in my early 20s. That was the first time I really got a buzz of starting, and they're great days, Gary. Just being out in the pitch, you're looking at the lads warming up there. It's just a super occasion. That's the one thing about South Kerry football, South Kerry finals. It brings a huge crowd. It's a massive atmosphere. When you're playing it, you just really get absorbed into the game. Yeah, so it's brilliant atmosphere. Hopefully now again, today will be a good game.
You mentioned 95. You came into a very experienced St Mary's team, I'd say, in 95, did you?
Oh yeah, well I was a part of I was young lads actually. One or two of my mates were playing that, like Bernard Connor, Mike Andy played in that game. 95, they've been quite young, like. So just a great experience in that panel that year. And we went on then obviously in the schools in 97, then was brilliant. And then I suppose we got our 3 in a row then in 2001, 2 and 3 with a big gang of us, made friends massively. We were coming down from Dublin, myself, remember John Gould and John Allen, Mark Shea, all that gang. We made lifetime friends from that, basically, up and down from Dublin. They were great occasions, super occasions really, yeah.
Is it a big thing, Garrod, when you win, say, 1 or even go back to back? Is it a big thing to go for a 3 and a 4, 4 and a 5 in a row, so on? You know, is that mentioned within training?
It's not really mentioned. You just go from year to year, really. But when you win one, you get a taste. You want to win another. We got the 3 in a row right in the noughties. Went on again to another 3, 9, 10, and 11. But the lads went on, like Conor will tell you there. They obviously went on and did 5, 6. They were a super team there coming out there now. A lot of them are playing. From 2012 on, they were 5, 6. They would keep winning it every year. Actually, I was just looking back there. In 09, we played Port McGee in the final. Obviously, there's 3 lads still playing here today. One of them's coming out there. Aidan Walsh was playing that day. Obviously, Brian Sheen himself was there, and Daly was playing too as well. So they're still going. They're going a while now. So it's brilliant to see them keep going out of that team in 09. But yes, it's just a brilliant occasion.
Conor, I'll bring you in. Can you tell us your first year involved and your first medal? What year was that?
2010. It was a 2010 final, but it was actually played in 2011 replay. We played Ballyfermore the first day, and then we played them the second day inside in Carsteen, a classic 8-2. But yeah, that was my first year, and then we won the next year, and then we had a couple of years where we didn't win it, and then we came back again in 14, 15, 16, 17. I was there for the 4 of them, then I went to Australia, came back, and I think it was 2 years ago against Drummond here. So yeah, that's kind of my run of things. I was in and out.
And I suppose it was a myth, Conor, down through the years that take the Marys out of Conkeating Park and you'll beat them. But I mean, you've proved down through the years, you've won finals in Renard, you've won finals in Waterville, you've won finals in Port McGee. So that's gone into the dustbin, isn't it?
Well, I remember the first one I think was Port McGee in 15. It was the year we were in the All-Ireland Intermediate. And we actually relished it, to be honest with you. It was like, take us out of town, no problem at all. We'll play below on the side of a ditch if you want. And that's the way we were. Like, you just want to win it every year. No matter what's gone on before, you want to win it every single year. And I think that's what drives the lads, and that's why Brian, Dan Daly, all of them are still going. Like, they just want to win it every year.
You mentioned Brian, and I'll get your views on both of that. He's still going strong, maybe now in a different role, Garrod, but Brian Sheen in the dressing room, talk to me what kind of a character he is as compared to what he is in the field. The crowds can see what he does in the field. What does he do in the dressing room?
He's been also a leader, like even from a young age. In 01 he was inside in the dressing room with us, like obviously he was young then, but he just grew into a massive role with us. Like he was playing 02, 03, played a Division 1 final in 02 with us against Stacks. I also remember that game above against Stacks. The Star was playing, William Kirby, all them, Palade, all them boys were up there. And he played centre forward, and he just stood out, like, with all them, and Darrell Long, all them great players for Stacks. And we beat them above there that same day. And it was just, from then on, you could see he was a super player. In the dressing room, he's just a leader all the time. He's always been a leader. And obviously out here again today, you're expecting to lead that team again, and hopefully to victory.
And the goalkeeping role seems to suit him now, Conor, doesn't it? I mean, he has a bit of the freedom of the pitch as well. There's not as much responsibility on his shoulders maybe in previous years.
Oh, 100%. The last year I played, he'd just gone into goal. And like he'd admit himself, he didn't want to really be out around the middle. He wanted to be, he's the freedom to come out when he wants and contribute to the play when he wants to contribute, and then take his rest when he wants to take his rest. But I don't know, I would have argued with him that he could still be out the field at this stage, but he's taken the easy option in my eyes, I think. But he's definitely he's brilliant, and I'd say there's another 5 or 6 years in Brian, to be honest, if he's going to stay in goal.
I'll get your predictions in a minute. Sheila, it's a very special day in your house as well because your hubby is being introduced at half-time. Tell us about that.
That's right. Sure. Richard is part of the Village team that won 25 years ago. And the scary thing is he's to come out again in 5 years' time. He kind of, you say there's 5 years left of Brian Richard stayed playing until he was 52 in goal. Yeah.
And of course your son Mark is in the panel as well.
I would say Mary's today. So we had a couple of years ago there, we had the rivalry where the Marys played Valencia and the two boys tugged out against each other. And we had a bit of fun in our house trying to take the photograph in the two different colours.
What's your memories, Sheila, of playing Skellig Rangers, I suppose, growing up and in the last few years in not only finals but quarterfinals and semi-finals, because they have met each other a good few times.
There was great battles. I think going back to Jacko's time, you had Vincent Merton. Jacko had fierce battles in the middle of the field. South Kerry Championship is huge. South Kerry final is huge down here, and I think it's always drawn humour and fun and rivalry and everything else. But at the end of the day, we're all the one crowd, so it's good.
You can remind the two lads. I was told to tell the story there about 1982 today, but I know you weren't even born like myself, Sheila, in 1982. But St Mary's agreed to come out to Portmagee to play him in the first round.
That's Kevin Martin's story, isn't it, Gary?
Without your brother, and unfortunately they came a cropper, didn't it? That's what happened.
Absolutely, and that's the South Kerry Championship. Anything can happen. Nobody can say a game is won before it's played. It has to be played on the field and won on the field.
Absolutely. Listen, lads, I'll get your predictions. You've seen the two games, I suppose, whatever games you have seen, but particularly with your own club, St Mary's. Would those two performances against Drummond and St Michael's Felmore be good enough today, Garrow, to get you over the line?
Well, geez, Drummond was a really tough battle. They really threw everything at us. And we obviously have improved on that. We improved against Farmer Bally, all right, in that game. I thought they were super in the first 20 minutes. We kind of lost it away in the last 10 minutes of that half. I think it's a final, so you never know on the day. You have to be just up from just straight in from the start and just take your scores and just hopefully we'll have enough on the day, basically.
Conor, is there any particular battle you're looking forward to there? Could it be decided in any 1v1?
I wouldn't say 1v1, but around the middle. Around the middle is going to be massive because the Marys are very, very tall and mobile around the middle, and it's how Skellig Rangers deal with that. Whether they go short with kickouts or something like that, but I think if the ball goes out long and it's going to be contested, it's going to be very interesting to see how Skellig Rangers deal with it. And if they're going to break it, then it'll be who's going to dog it out in the ground.
Well, lads, listen, we'll wish you the best of luck. Thanks a million, Conor, Garrod, Sheila. I might mean it, but I'm saying best of luck anyway.
Can I just say a shout out to my daughter Emma over in Holland and Granigan in Holland who's watching us here today.
We hope she enjoys it. We'll take a break. My usual chat with Mossy Coffee is coming up very shortly.
And they haven't met since, so we'll see today. Good day for the game anyway.
Okay, we have 15 minutes from throw-in and we'll give you the official team news. There's good few changes on the St Michael's Felmore team. We'll be back to team news in a couple of minutes. For St Mary's and for Brian Sheehan, here he comes. Distance is not a problem and neither is accuracy. By Niall O'Sullivan, there's danger here. That's a goal, is it? It is, it's gone in. It's a goal from Tygo Connor, doing well inside there. Space has opened up. Shane Goggin looking for the opening score. And Shane Goggin
off the left leg, super kick.
And Shane Michael's Felmore need to put a marker on him. This is Cian O'Donoghue going through. Danger here. Oh! One more, the referee says a free to St Mary's and on they go with it again. Darren Casey inside Wildmore. This is Jack Daly. Jack Daly trying to cut inside again and it's opened up alarmingly and Jack Daly punches it over the bar.
Actually put it on.
Ian O'Sullivan to take this one. He got 4 2-pointers in the previous round. He's after getting one today and I badly needed one of that. Ian O'Sullivan getting it badly time. Ian O'Sullivan, maybe this game is not over. We thought it was about 10 or 15 weeks back, but they're kept in their step. That's a high challenge from Aidan Walsh. Going through, Ian, advantage is given. This is a cracking kick from Ian O'Sullivan. A 1-pointer. It's his first from play. Ian O'Sullivan said he didn't score yet, and I think maybe this is the end of the famine for Vin O'Donoghue. And it is, I think. That's the first score from Vin O'Donoghue. Going for the 2-pointer, Alex Coffey. Huge effort. This is a massive score. Could wrap it up now if he rounds his man. This must be, and that is a goal for Aidan Walsh. Now, into the green jerseys, Brian Sheehan is backpedaling onto his goal line. Here's Stephen O'Connor. The move is still going and it's Mikey Scanlon. Mikey Scanlon from a bunch of the post as followers. That's what we were saying before the game, Mossy, about saying Michael Falmore would need a good spread of scorers this afternoon. Unfortunately, they haven't got them.
No, Ian is.
Anyway, here comes Scanlon again. This is
He's
Rana.
after making a difference after
He is
the
actually, yeah. That was Scanlon to Stephen O'Connor with the shoulder. Being met there by the other number 8, Jack. He's goal in a point. And I say the goal in 2
super
points.
score.
That is a mighty kick. He's cracked his goal in 1 point. That's his.
You know, is our goal on here now? Eventually he's come back.
Scanlon is after pulling something. It's a hamstring or some kind of a muscle in here. A high chin. Ryan Sheehan. Take this kick out.
Want to go short, isn't it?
Ryan decides to try. That's a huge hand. He'll be around the goalie. He will indeed. Stick it into the back of the net. Anthony Cornan. Here we've heard from the Skellig Rangers camp, we've heard from the St Mary's camp, and Mossy Coffey and myself are going to stay neutral this afternoon in the commentary box. Mossy, weather-wise, we're so lucky. It's a glorious day here today.
Absolutely perfect. You know, the pitch is a bit small, bit slippy, all right, but weather conditions are ideal for a game of football. Hopefully we get a good game here today.
Listen, you know yourself what's it like to be involved in. I was asking the Skellig Rangers camp at the St Mary's camp, what's it like as a player to be involved in a final like this?
Sure, you just all you want, Gary, is the ball to be thrown up. You know, this kind of build up to half an hour before it can be a bit tense, and fellas, you know, just want to get on with it and the parade and things like that. But you know, for the spectators, that's a big thing. I just hear the pipe band, the Cloughlin pipe band, tuning up outside there, and there's a great buzz, great atmosphere around the place. And you know, the crowd have come early. Like, there's going to be a big crowd here today. Like, we've half an hour before the game, the stand is full, and there's a good crowd on the far side as well. So, you know, hopefully we get a game. You know, I was talking to Francie Driscoll there. He said we've a big task ahead of us, but he said it's not impossible. And I think that sums up football. Anything can happen. You know, Marys are big favourites to win this game, but favourites don't always win every game. So, you know, hopefully we're going to have a game and it's going to be clean. There's no fella going to get sent off. There's no fella going to get injured. Do you know what I mean? They're the big things. That's, you know.
You've been looking back, Mossy, at finals that they've met, and I suppose not finals that they've come up against, and you've been involved in a few of them yourself.
Yes, I was. I suppose 1985 we played the great Jack O'Shea was playing that time, and Paddy Mann, of course, for Skellig Rangers was a big player that day, and it was a tough battle all the way through in 1985. And we got 2 goals near the end, and you know, the scoreboard was a bit flattering in the finish. I think it was 2-11 to 4 points or something like that, but the goals only came very late in the game. And any Portuguese team in the final is going to go out and give it a lash. And I've no doubt that the Portuguese team here today, you know, the first quarter of an hour, 20 minutes, they have to go at it from the word go today. Simple as that.
Skellig Rangers, I think, down through the years, Mossy, it sort of is in their DNA. They are a good championship team.
Well, Gary, it's in the programme there. If you go back over 100 years, Portmagee teams have been a fly in the ointment for the Carstavine and O'Connell teams over the years. And, you know, I know 1968 was a big year. They hammered the Marys 11 points to 4 in the South Kerry final. That team probably should have won another one in 1969, but circumstances were a small bit different. That was a challenge match. Played as a challenge match. The Marys got 2 goals in the first 5 minutes. They only got 1 point in the rest of the game. And they only beat Portmagee by a point. Portmagee left their Dublin-based players, which were 3 or 4 players in Dublin, played a challenge, and South Kerry board awarded it to the Marys then. And I'm sure that Portmagee team, if they had their full complement, would have won 2 back-to-back South Kerry titles that time.
I was warned to ask you about 1982.
Kevin Martin.
Tell everybody what happened that wasn't even born, Mossy. What happened in 1982?
1982. I just checked the date. It was the 11th of July, 1982. And St. Mary's were doing a job in their pitch. And the selectors at the time decided, in their wisdom, not to bring down the great Jack O'Shea down for it was a quarter-final game behind in Portmagee. It was the first game in Portmagee, but it wasn't actually the first game because there was another game on the programme that day. And Valencia beat Derrynane in the first game. And the second game was Skellig Rangers and Portmagee, and the Marys were leading a good bit of the game, and there was ball came into the square, and the goalkeeper and the full back called for it, my ball, and it went into the square, and Portmagee won by a point. And Kevin Martin, since that day, has not let the Marys fellas, myself and Kieran McCarthy and Matty Quirk and more, he's not let us forget that game.
But I suppose it does prove, even a day like today, that on any day, a favourite could be beaten. I presume you were hot favourites in 82, were you?
Oh, absolutely, and like even in 85 we were hot favourites, and we eventually won it, but it was a battle. It was only in the last 5 or 10 minutes, and I could expect something similar here today. Like people are writing off Portmagee, but they could do that at their peril here today, because Portmagee have nothing to lose. They just turn up like everybody's expecting him to win, and if they got a result, look, it would be a good thing for South Kerry football, because people look. Outside of St. Mary's, people are sick of the Marys winning, and that's people talking to. I said Portmagee are playing not only for themselves, they're playing for the rest of South Kerry today as well.
The 09 final, Mossy, was one of the closest ones. It was a 1-point win for St. Mary's. I know some of the Skellig lads said they left that game after them that day.
Yeah, they played very well. Tough conditions again that day, and inside in Conkeating Park as well in the Mary's home field, and they really put it up to. And I suppose the fortunate goal, sideline ball kicked in by Morris Fitz, and it deceived the backs and the goalkeeper and ended up in the net, and that was the winning of the game, right? But Portmagee were probably the better team for large patches of that match. And like you can go back to 2022 as well. That's only 3 years ago. I know Brian Sheehan was missing that year, but Portmagee turned them over. So the last time they met in the championship, Portmagee won. So like you can look at it lots of different ways. Of course, the Marys will be favourites. They played intermediate championship this year, and they were very good in the intermediate. They won 1 game, and they were very unlucky in the other 2 games. So, like, they are playing at a higher level than most teams, but a final is the final.
Any matchups, Mossy, that's catching your eye just about, 25 minutes before throwing? As far as we know, there's not too many changes anyway.
There's just one change, and the change is that Seamus Baker is coming in cornerback number 17 instead of Stephen O'Sullivan. That's the only change. The teams are lining out in the programme. But, like, the half-back line, like I was very impressed with the Portmagee half-back line inside in Valencia. Finan Sullivan is a super player. Rangers will be looking for Finan and Ronan Shea, Kieran Keating. They're 3 big players in the middle of the field. And like the Marys, then like you'll be looking at Conor Shea, Dara Sullivan, Keane O'Donoghue, one of the best backs in the game. Like Jack Daly was man of the match in the semi-final. He's another man. And like the 2 fellas then, Alex Coffey and Aidan Welch, wing forwards. So the Marys in every line, they'll take watching. But Portmagee have their players as well. And, for Portmagee, everybody will have to show up. So will the Marys.
And Ty Connor has banged in the goals. He's got 2 of them for St. Mary's, but Michal Sullivan has got 2 on the other side for Skellig Rangers.
And like goals are going to be crucial here today, and as well as the 2-pointers. But both teams are not. They haven't been scoring the 2-pointers in their games. They're more goal getters than 2-point scorers. So it'll be interesting to see, will they go for 2 points today, or will they be going for goals?
All right, we'll have an in-depth more chat a little bit later on. We'll take a break here from the sideline. We'll have the parade in just a few minutes. The Killarglen District Pipe Band. Great to see them involved, Mossy, today.
Absolutely. But they're there and they're entertaining the crowd. They were out in the car park there, there was youngsters around listening to them, and it's a nice thing, and they love playing here, and we love having them here as well.
Well, we'll make our way to the commentary box. We'll join you in a couple of minutes.
Hello, I'm Declan Sugaroof from 3DS Designs. We specialise in property design, planning permission and construction from initial concept through to completion. We start by meeting you to understand your vision and requirements. Our first step is percolation testing to specify the correct septic tank system for your property. Next, we consult with county councils to gather their feedback before submitting the full planning permission application. Once planning permission is granted, we finalise project costs and manage the build process. If you qualify for grants, such as the Vacant Property Home Grant or SCAI Home Improvement Grants, we'll apply on your behalf. Note that these do not apply to new builds. We also handled BER assessments in-house. Throughout construction, we agree on a target completion date and work to deliver on schedule. By choosing 3DS Designs as your main contractor, you have one point of contact under one roof, ensuring a seamless end-to-end build process.
And they haven't met since, so we'll see today. Good day for the game anyway.
Okay, we have 15 minutes from throw-in and we'll give you the official team news. There's Skellig Rangers on the St. Michael's Falmore team. We'll get back to team news in a couple of minutes. For St. Mary's and combined season, here he comes. This is not a
Senior Football Championship 2025. We would like to welcome the Killarglen White Band under Eamon Mulvihill Band Major and hope you enjoy the day. Just give you an update on the teams. There's one change on the Portmagee team. Number 17, Seamus O'Sullivan comes in for number 2, Stephen O'Sullivan. So the teams line out. Portmagee, Skellig Rangers. In goal number 1, Padraig O'Sullivan. Full back line, number 17, Seamus O'Sullivan. Full back. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 1. 1, 2. Full back number 3, Gerald O'Sullivan, and number 4, Brendan Murphy. Half back line wearing number 5, Sean Kennedy. Centre back and captain of the team, Finan O'Sullivan, and wearing number 7, Bernard Walsh. Midfield wearing number 8, Martin O'Sullivan, and number 9, Ronan O'Shea. The half forward line wearing number 10, Aaron O'Sullivan, number 11, Kieran Keating, and number 12, Dara O'Sullivan. Full forward line wearing number 13, Michael O'Sullivan, number 14, Keith Brennan, and number 15, David Kennedy. St. Mary's line out as follows. In goal, number 1, Brian Sheehan. Full back line, number 2, Josh O'Sullivan. number 3, Keane O'Donoghue, and number 4, the captain of the team, Oisin Moran. The half-back line, number 5, Conor O'Shea, number 6, Dara O'Sullivan, and number 7, Darren Casey. Midfield, number 8, Jack Daly, and number 9, Kieran O'Driscoll. The half-forward line, number 10, Alex Coffey, number 11, Anthony Kernan, and number 12, Aidan Walsh. Full forward line, wearing number 13, Ben O'Donoghue, wearing number 14, Tygo O'Connor, and number 15 is Daniel Daly. Before the game, there will be a parade around the field, and we'll have a moment's silence then, and then the game will commence. And we wish Brendan and his officials all the best as well.
As well.
Right then, we are in our Coventry position and we're ready to rock here, and we've about, what's the bones of about 14 minutes to go. Parade will be starting in a minute. St Mary's are out onto the field to play for their team photograph. Skellig Rangers have just gone through their protocol of the team photograph. They're out kicking to the left. Skellig Rangers player Adam Kennedy got injured in the warm-up, Mossy. We saw him being, I suppose, transported into the dressing rooms, and unfortunately for Adam, I don't think he will be lining out on the bench today.
Yeah, just listening to one of the mentors from Skellig Rangers, and he says it could be cruciate or something like that. So it's a serious enough injury. How it happened, I don't know. We didn't see it, but like Adam would be a tough fella to bring on there. Do you know what I mean? Like he's a handy backup man, and he played a lot of games for Skellig Rangers during the year.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, a set-up. Mossy, this sun is strong. I didn't think I'd be saying it coming to the 1st of December nearly. And the goalkeeper defending our goal on the left, he'd need the old baseball cap for the first half.
Yeah, there is a slight breeze blowing down the field into the sun, and then you have the sun you have the breeze going down, and then you have the sun. You have the sun coming into your eyes as well. So it's going to be a bit tricky, all right. Definitely. The high ball into the square, and goals are going to be crucial here today. So hopefully there won't be any mistakes like that they'll be blaming the sun or whatever.
Do you think we might concentrate on the Skellig Rangers team first of all? It was a poor semi-final, I suppose, standard-wise in Carsavine that they need to up that performance if they're going to get over the line today.
Well, you see, I suppose, Gary, I suppose semi-finals are all about winning and getting into the final, and Skellig Rangers are in the final, and if you judge them on that, it would be very wrong, because they are a lot better than that, which they proved inside Valencia for half an hour, playing with the wind and the whole lot like that. They're nice ball players, they can get the scores. So it's the conditions out here today, they're nearly perfect, do you know what I mean? So you would expect them to be a lot livelier and getting more scores today.
And I suppose if we go back to the first day in Drummond, Mossy, I mean, that game for a long time was Drummond's to win. Until St. Mary's got the goal and a couple of points that they tagged on.
It was only in the last 5 or 10 minutes that the Marys pulled away when they got the goals. Drummond put up a tremendous performance. They were missing 3 key players in Graham O'Sullivan, Padraig Mangan and Niall O'Shea, and they have been key to their championship wins over the last few years. So they were missing 3 of them, but they battled hard and they were right in the game. Put it up to the Marys. Marys were a small bit fortunate to come away. The 6 points winning margin was a bit, it wasn't a true reflection of the game.
Where are the matchups for you today, Mossy? Do you think they'll go positionally as on programme, or will both sides mix it up a little bit?
I think they will mix it up, totally mix it up. But the big battle is going to be the middle 8, the both half back lines, half forward lines, and the 2 midfielders. That's where the game is going to be decided. Breaking ball is going to be crucial here today. Both teams are not known for getting the 2-pointers. They're inclined to go for goals and the single points. So I don't think that's going to change today. I don't think you'll have kicking 2-pointers from far out or anything like that. But I think the half back line by Skellig Rangers, and the half back line by the Marys as well, and then the 2 wing forwards, Alex Coffey and Aidan Welch. They're key. They're key to them, as are Kieran Keating and David Kennedy for Portmagee.
Yep.
So there's a lot of key players all over the field, and each team will be looking for their key men to turn up today.
And we saw in the St. Mary's 2 games in particular the attacking prowess of Conor O'Shea. I mean, he's well capable of scoring from the half-back line. He technically could score more than any forward here today.
Absolutely. Himself and Darren Casey and even Keane O'Donoghue from the full back line. They make bursts up the field. And I've no doubt that Conor O'Shea is going to get close attention here today, that he won't be left solo up as easy as he can. But the Marys have they spread it out from side to side. Portmagee in the semi-final were going kind of more up the middle, whereas the Marys were using the full width of the field, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of a shape Portmagee will take up today.
We've 2 experienced goalkeepers. I mean, we all know what Brian Sheehan has done even outfield, but Padraig O'Sullivan has been the South Kerry netminder for years.
Yeah, he's a good shot stopper, good kick out and the whole lot like that, and he's a good man to keep his defence on their toes as well. So, it'll be interesting,
The introduction of Seamus O'Sullivan, I'm not sure, is that a tactical move by Skellig Rangers or is it an injury to Stephen O'Sullivan? But maybe he's going for a bit of extra physicality by bringing in Seamus.
I look, talking to a lot of the Marys fellas, they felt that Seamus O'Sullivan was going to be there because he's a key man, and he brings that bit of physicality and stuff. He won't be backing from nothing, do you know what I mean? And he's won the South Kerry Championship before in 2006, so he's experienced as well. Right.
Now we're ready for the marching behind the band, which is a big thing. Our referee for this afternoon is Brendan Brosnan. We've been looking at the scorers, Mossy, down through the on both sides. So Micheál O'Sullivan for Skellig Rangers, he's got 2 goals. Keith Brennan 5 points. Kieran Keating 3. Sean Kennedy, Brendan Murphy, Dara Sullivan, and Fionn Sullivan. But the big thing hopping off the page to me there, and the same, I suppose, with Skellig Rangers, is they've both only got, Skellig Rangers have only got 1 2-pointer in this contest so far. St. Mary's have had 2, Alex Coffey and Brian Sheehan. So 2-pointers could be the winning of this game today.
Absolutely. They'll definitely have a big bearing on the game, and it's an ideal condition to be kicking 2-pointers here today. Ian Smith did it in the semi-final. Ian is an exceptional kicker anyway. But anything around the arc, with the slight breeze that's going down towards the the late goal, as we call it there, the road goal. You would expect a couple of 2-pointers there today.
And I suppose if we look at the foreign against St Mary's, a 431 scored in 2 games. Skellig Rangers have 222. But if I was a Skellig Rangers man in that dressing room, I'd be saying, hang on lads, St Mary's have conceded 26 points, which is a fair whack in 2 games.
Yeah.
Skellig have conceded 20 points.
Yeah, but I suppose if you look at the standard of, like St Mary's were playing Drummond, who would be regarded as probably the second best team in South Kerry over the last 10 years, and that was always going to be a close game. St Michael's Filmore and the Marys was the local derby then, and the Marys had a goal. As it was, we looked at it afterwards on the video, and it was a clear goal, but disallowed by Anthony Cronan, and they probably could have won by a bit more, eased off a bit when they were up, and put the game to bed early in the second half. But it's a final, it's there to be won for both teams.
I know you have PRO duties. I think maybe it's time, Ossie, to call both sides to line up behind the band.
Okay, we'll do that.
So before we get underway, because the referee Brendan Brosnan, I think, is signalling as well.
Can both teams please go to the pipe band and get the parade underway, please? So,
Fionn O'Sullivan will lead Skellig Rangers around behind the behind the Killarglen District pipe band, and Oisin Moran will lead St Mary's. St Mary's, Massey, I've been intrigued by this. Some days they play in the white jerseys, and more days they play in the blue jerseys. How do they differentiate by which jersey they wear?
I don't know. I think the white jerseys are the lucky ones for the final, Gary.
So they've worn them more than the blue ones, haven't they?
I think so, yeah. I think they have better luck with the white ones.
Right, we'll take a quick break. We'll have the parade for you just coming up in a couple of minutes' time. Now, welcome back. We're here as the parade is underway with the Killarglen District Pipe Band, and a beautiful setting here in Waterville this afternoon. Oisin Moran leading his team, and Fionn O'Sullivan leading his Skellig Rangers team. As we just mentioned, one late change on the Skellig Rangers team, number 17, Seamus O'Sullivan, coming in to replace number 2, Stephen O'Sullivan. But I have no doubt that Stephen O'Sullivan could be called into the fray this afternoon. He would possibly be the first defender to be called in should there be any positional change or should there be any injury which would be enforced. From the St Mary's point of view, Brian Sheehan there lining up behind him. You have Josh O'Sullivan, Cian O'Donoghue, Conor O'Shea, Darragh O'Sullivan, Darren Casey, Jack Daly and Kieran O'Driscoll, Alex Coffey, Anthony Conan and Aidan Walsh, Ben O'Donoghue, Ty Connor and Daniel Daly. That's a very, very experienced lineup. I'm looking at the two number 15s actually in opposition to each other at the end of the line. Daniel Daly and David Kennedy. David Kennedy is a man that has recently won the county or South Kerry Minor Championship. So it'll tell you Daniel Daly's got a good few years in David Kennedy, but they're lining up there shoulder to shoulder at number 15. Couple of tall men around the middle of the field. I'm watching each other there as well. Jack Daly, Kieran O'Driscoll, Alex Coffey and Aidan Walsh, but Skellig Rangers are matching in for height there with Aaron O'Sullivan, Kieran Keating and Martin O'Sullivan and Ronan Shea out around the middle. Bernard Walsh there as well. So as the parade comes towards us, we're only minutes away from throw-in literally 4 minutes away from the start of the South Kerry Senior Football Final. Brendan Brosnan from Glenflesk is our referee. Mike Moriarty from Keele and Peter Lyons, they are our linesmen. They have been the linesmen for the whole of the South Kerry Championship. This is a lovely, colourful atmosphere here now in Waterville this afternoon. Crowds are still coming in. Looking down to my right hand side, there's a fine crowd here this afternoon. We're blessed with the weather. Not too often we can say that coming towards the end of November, but the forecast got it spot on. They said it would be sunny around 3 o'clock this afternoon, and sunny it is as the parade just approaches us here now in the commentary box. My good friend Pat Piggott has the toughest job of all. He's lifting that big drum over his shoulders, but it's a beautiful atmosphere. The crowds give their round of applause to both sides, ready for the off here. Some of these Skellig Rangers players have featured before in South Kerry finals, but I think there are only 2 of them down there with Jack Murphy medals this afternoon. Ger O'Sullivan, I see him lining up there, number 3. I want to wish Ger the very best of luck as well, and his wife Grania. Ger became a dad for the 2nd time last Monday, I think, or Tuesday. Baby Fionn came into the world. So Ger, let's hope that baby Fionn will grow up to know that's the day, more or less the day that I was born, or near enough that Dad lifted the Jack Murphy Cup. That remains to be seen. Will it be St. Mary's? Will it be Skellig Rangers? That's the end of the parade, folks. The hour on of Ian.
We're going to have a moment's silence.
Well, first of all, a minute's silence. I'll hand you over to Mossy.
O'Leary, Port McGee, mother of Skellig Rangers trainer Declan O'Leary, and also for John Smith, London, and late of the Glen Skellig, who passed away yesterday, and also for all South Kerry Gaels who passed away since our last final. Shashaginish, Aromadine, a kilogram pipeline.
So there we go, we're ready for the throw-in. Minute silence impeccably observed there for Anne O'Leary, mom of Skellig Rangers manager Declan O'Leary, and for John Smith of London and the Glen as well, and for former South Kerry Gaels. I'm not quite sure, Mossy, who won the toss between here, there and everywhere. I actually took my eye off the ball and I didn't see who won the toss. So, but Skellig Rangers are playing from they're playing to the goal on the left from where we're positioned.
Yeah, St. Mary seem to be playing with the slight wind advantage in the first half and playing into the sun as well. So I see players putting their hands up to their eyes there. It seems to be difficult there. But the cloud seems to be coming over the sun now. So
well, there's whole change switches as I predicted. Kieran Keating has gone in top of the right. David Kennedy is out on the 40 for Skellig. for Skellig Rangers. Seamus O'Sullivan is gone in at right corner back. Fionn O'Sullivan is gone to right half back. Sean Kennedy has gone in the 40.
There's the man here in trouble for the Marys. Number 2, Josh O'Sullivan. Seems to be carrying a hamstring or something there. He's going off the field, Gary.
Josh O'Sullivan is gone just before throw-ins. How ironic. 2 young men, Adam Kennedy and Josh O'Sullivan. The throw-in, or the warm-up, has cost both of them. That is really hard-looking, Josh O'Sullivan. Mossy, isn't it?
You would be expecting Kane O'Shea to come on there instead of him. Kane is coming on.
Well, I suppose the only fortunate thing for St Mary's is it won't be counted as a substitute because the ball has yet to be thrown in. But that's really unfortunate now for poor Josh.
I don't know about that, Gary. I think once you've given your team this to the referee, it could count as...
It could be correct. We'll have to get clarity on that anyway. Who's in the middle of the field there? Ronan O'Shea.
Jack Daly.
Yeah, Jack Daly. I'm watching Josh Sullivan being taken off the field of play. Anyway, we're ready for the throw in here. So Skellig Rangers playing from right to left in the first half. St Mary's playing into the sun. Has Brian Sheehan had the baseball cap on him? Not yet, but I presume he has one inside there.
He's going for it, Gary. I think he heard you.
He is indeed. So Brendan Brosnan ready to throw it in. The fever pitch here, we're underway. The South Kerry final is underway for the year that it is. And straight away it's a foul to St Mary's, and it's a foul. And Jack Daly goes on his merry run over there. Kieran O'Driscoll back to Jack Daly again. Jack Daly spraying it inside for Ben O'Donoghue. Brendan Murphy doing the marking man inside there. Is that Ronan O'Shea? I think maybe over there on the far side. It's a free out to Skellig Rangers. Very good defending. And now over on the far side of the field, that was Ronan O'Shea. Now he's taken a shoulder, and he's taken 2 shoulders over on the far side. He's now surrounded. There's a pure pile-up right in front of the scoreboard over there. There's a St Mary's man coming out with the ball, Massey. I'm not sure from here who it is.
Looks... I'm not sure.
We're getting on with the play. It's Alex Coffey. And Alex Coffey is now on a free.
This is a kind of is it a 2-pointer? Brian Sheehan is coming up anyway to take it.
Brian Sheehan is on his way up to take this one.
That should be well within Brian Sheehan's range anyway, Gary, you would imagine.
Yeah, there's a slight bit of a breeze, Mossy. It's favouring St Mary's in the first half, isn't it?
Slightly, yeah, absolutely. You'll be expecting Brian Sheehan to put this over. You know, at the start they would have wanted to get a couple of scores on the scoreboard early and get them settled.
He's already got 9 points in the South Kerry Championship. 1 2-pointer. So this for the opening score of the game. So Brian Sheehan to take this one. This now for the opening score. We're a minute and a half gone. The crowd goes quiet. Brian has the length. Has Brian the accuracy? The umpire, is he going for a white flag? He is indeed.
White flag, yeah.
Opening score of the game there to Brian Sheehan, Mossy. It was an easy enough free for Brian Sheehan's ability, wasn't it?
Absolutely. He will be happy with that one, just to get the clock ticking, as the man says. Kick out here now is going to be interesting.
Patrick O'Sullivan has gone a long way for that ball.
And he's taking his time running up. He's not going to break any records.
He's not doing a Usain Bolt on it anyway, so that ball went well down into the far side, well near the ditch. It went closer to the Hogs Head Hotel than it did to the goal post. But anyway, now let's see what's happening here. Sean Kennedy, as he has gone centre back to mark Anthony Cornan. Bernard Welch is out here at left half back. Brendan Murphy is coming out now at left half back. Maybe Bernard Welch is going in. Anyway, they're chopping and changing. Out to the middle. Crowded midfield. Kieran Driscoll goes up. The break staying down there. Ronan O'Shea doing well. Gives it now to David Kennedy. 70 yards out from goal. Fresh from winning the South Kerry Minor Championship. In actual fact, he captained the team and he was man of the match. He was all in one in that final. Here's the captain for today, Fionn O'Sullivan, to Bernard Walsh. Into Martin O'Sullivan now. Martin looking up. Martin seeing what his options are. Keith Brennan is one of them. Keith gets out ahead of his man. He's a first cousin of Ben Donoghue on the other side. They're in total opposition camps today though. Plays it back here now again to Fionn Sullivan. Fionn looks up. Bernard Welsh, that right knee heavily bandaged. Bernard carried a bit of an injury into the Valencia game, but he survived that, and he survived Waterville as well in the semi-final. Kieran Driscoll is standing him up, telling Fionn Sullivan to go. Fionn Sullivan made a crunching tackle from Cian O'Donoghue. The ball is spilled loose. Fionn Sullivan going down for it now again. The ball has gone loose. Is David Kennedy does very well to go in and get possession for Skellig Rangers, and he's won his free, Mossy.
Yeah, Ty Connor couldn't go for the ball because of the 3-up rule. He had to stand inside the 45. So that's Was possession back to Skellig Rangers.
This is Micheál O'Sullivan gone roaming now with a new man on him. This is Martin O'Sullivan. That's the brother Martin. This is inside to Sean Kennedy. Lovely football by Skellig so far. Back to Micheál O'Sullivan. Micheál 2 goals against Valencia. This is Kieran Keating. First touch of the action for Kieran Keating. Getting inside Dara Sullivan. Looking inside there. Aaron O'Sullivan was decked inside there. I won't say it was illegally, but he hit the deck fairly solidly inside there. And the referee says play on, and coming out with it now is Aidan Walsh. Way back in his defence. And this is Kieran O'Driscoll. Crossfield ball for Jack Daly. Jack Daly, and standing him up there is Dara O'Sullivan. Out towards the sideline now. There's a loose man, Anthony Curnan. Who's man Anthony Curnan? It was Sean Kennedy. I'm not saying it is now, but there's nobody on him for the moment. Still Anthony Curnan. Coming into the middle of the field now comes Alex Coffey. Alex Coffey. Skellig standing him up. A high one there from Tig O'Connor. An ambitious one for Tig, but it's gone to the left and wide. So yes, left and wide from Tig O'Connor. That is the first wide of the afternoon. And Dara O'Sullivan now is calling for it out here on the left-hand side. 4.5 minutes gone, but I don't think Padraig O'Sullivan is going to give it to him. Kieran Keating now seems to be coming out around the centre-half forward.
Cagey enough start by both teams, Gary, at the start. They're just finding their way into the game slowly.
They are indeed. Padraig O'Sullivan well past midfield, but in fact it's being got there by Jack Daly. Jack grabs it nicely, calls the mark and gives it to his midfield partner Kieran O'Driscoll, and he plays it back now to Cian O'Shea, who came in just before the throw-in. If you missed it, Josh O'Sullivan very unlucky to go off injured. Seamus O'Sullivan is under pressure with Ben O'Donoghue inside there now. Ben paying it outside again. Daniel Daly and Aidan Walsh involved there as well. Conor O'Shea going deep into Skellig territories. Most people thought he would. This is Kieran O'Driscoll. Kieran O'Driscoll playing it outside here to Darren Casey. Still Darren Casey going through. Scored a point against Drummond in the opening round. This is Jack Daly again. Standing him up there. And then touched on the ground. And in fact, for not giving the ball, it's been brought forward. Little bit indiscipline there, Mossy, from Jack Daly.
Yeah, good work there by Micheál O'Sullivan in dispossessing Jack Daly.
Kieran Keating now, looking up. There's 2 men inside him. He gives it safely to another experienced man, Bernard Walsh. That was a crunching tackle. It was a high one. The referee might take note of that. The hand is aloft. It's a free in anyway. Skellig Rangers are fouled. This is Keith Brennan. 3 pulls off him. He did hop it twice, but he was fouled. Back to Ronan O'Shea, trying to get inside his man. Ronan O'Shea has put it over the bar. Very good score and very well worked by Ronan O'Shea.
Skellig Rangers are not going to lie down for anybody here today, Gary. Good, well worked score.
Very well worked score there. Kieran Keating involved, and it was praise crop to Keith Brennan. There was a possibility of a double hop, but I think a referee had Brendan Brosnan had his hand in the air anyway, because he was fouled twice. I think the kick out from Brian Sheehan out to the middle of the field again. Alex Coffey getting it this time for St. Mary's. Long ball inside again, and a good ball inside for Ben Donoghue, trying to get inside Brendan Murphy. Still Ben Donoghue slips it across. Conor Shea, what a tackle from Sean Kennedy. He came from nowhere and absolutely bamboozled him with a shoulder that put him nearly to the back of next week, and that was a mighty tackle from him. Dara O'Sullivan picks it up to Bernard Walsh. Bernard Walsh looks up inside to Fionn Sullivan. He's roaming now, the captain. Fionn for Keith Brennan, gets out ahead of his man Keith Brennan. Lovely ball to Micheál O'Sullivan. Micheál O'Sullivan, Micheál, unfortunately it was a 99% brilliant build-up.
Absolutely great work there by Skellig Rangers, but the end product was not what they deserved. First wide of the game for Skellig Rangers.
Some tackle by Sean Kennedy and Conor O'Shea there.
Absolutely.
He felt that one, must he?
Yeah, Ben O'Donoghue probably should have gone for a point there. You know, it was within his scoring. So.
Well, the Skellig Rangers full forward line are chopping and changing. Brian Sheehan plays it quickly outside to Kieran O'Driscoll, outside here now to Darren Casey. 1 minute Micheál O'Sullivan is corner forward. Next minute he's full forward, Keith Brennan as well. So they're keeping them guessing it all the time. Ben Donoghue again getting out ahead of. Slipping there was Brendan Murphy. Still Ben Donoghue. Brendan Murphy trying to get back. Sean Kennedy trying to get a hand in there, and Bernard Walsh goes back to save the day for Skellig Rangers when he's free out. There's 2 great interceptions Sean Kennedy has made.
Yeah, I think the Marys are overplaying it a small bit there, Gary. In the the final passes leaving them down. They should be having a cut for an old score when they get in there around 30 yards out.
Dara O'Sullivan was fouled. Dara takes it quickly. to Martin O'Sullivan. They're not related. They're one of the few that's not. Kieran Keating blocks it down nicely in front of himself. 3 of them around him. Loose man is Fionn Sullivan. And it's opened up now for the team captain. Fionn Sullivan. Facing him is Jack Daly. Anyone coming through the middle? Fionn is still alive. It's still Fionn Sullivan going through. He needs help though. He's isolated. Help must come, and it has come from Kieran Keating. He started the movement. Kieran could swing it over from here. He'll give it to his I was going to call him his midfield partner, but he's not.
It's surprising that Kieran Keating didn't have a pass to the post there, Gary. It was well within his range.
Martin O'Sullivan to Bernard Walsh. Bernard Walsh now peeling away. There was Aaron Sullivan. This is Bernard Walsh going through. That's a high challenge. That's a free just outside the 45-metre line, and this is Darragh O'Sullivan country, Mossy.
Absolutely. We could have a first 2-pointer of the game coming up here. Nice calm day.
Well,
just outside the 45.
It's well within the compass of Darragh O'Sullivan. In fact, they're not happy with the ball. I think it's soft, or it's not the. There's not a man asked years ago. He said in a quiz question, Mossy, he said, "How much air goes into a size 5?" I don't know the answer to it. Do you know it?
No clue.
I think the same man that asked the question was picking himself up the floor after about 5 minutes later. But anyway, now here's Darragh O'Sullivan for the first 2-pointer chance of the afternoon. We know how good this guy is on his day. We know how good Brian Sheehan is, but I'll tell you, this fella would be his match on any particular day. Has he bought the shooting boots from St. Finian's Bay with him this afternoon? 9.5 minutes gone. It's a point apiece. Darragh O'Sullivan now to make it, or to look for a 2-pointer. It's a high one. It's lobbed inside. Kieran Driscoll broke it out, but rather dangerously enough to David Kennedy. David Kennedy plays it back outside to Martin Sullivan. Martin is going for the 2-pointer. That's a beautiful kick from Martin O'Sullivan. That's a 2-pointer. The first 2-pointer of the afternoon, and Martin O'Sullivan is the man that's got it.
And you know, he's done the right thing. Like, you take the Marys there, Gary, and Kieran Keating then Portuguese forwards. Have a go for the scores, and that's what Martin Sullivan did. You have nothing to lose. Got a great 2-pointer.
Bit of a sloppy clearance by Kieran Driscoll that time. He could have actually caught it.
He could have caught it. Definitely could have caught it.
Punched it out.
Yeah.
Brian Sheehan, baseball cap is on. Over to the far side now. Skellig lead, 3 points to 1. And this ball is, I was going to say this ball has gone astray, but it wasn't, because Cian O'Donoghue was alive to it. And Cian plays it back here now to Cian O'Shea. Cian is the younger brother of Connor. This is Cian O'Donoghue again. Back again to O'Shea. Skellig are holding their 3 up, and the 3 up at the moment is Martin Sullivan, Keith Brennan and Kieran Keating. Into the middle again, Cian O'Shea. Skellig Rangers. I think they had made it. I think they were lucky. They got away with a breach. They had only 2 men up front. St. Mary's sideline spotted it in the far side, and I think, to be fair, they got away with it. Here's Ronan O'Shea to the first cousin, Bernard Walsh. Bernard now gives it to Kieran Keating. Back to Ronan O'Shea again. He got a bit of an injury in the semi-final. From Skellig Rangers' point of view, they're delighted that he's injury-free. Here's Bernard Walsh. Back out to Kieran Keating. Kieran Keating, into the corner it goes, and this is Darragh O'Sullivan, former South Kerry senior Darragh. Back to Ronan O'Shea in the South Kerry senior panel this year. Into Bernard Welsh. It's all Skellig Rangers at the moment. They're holding possession nicely. Ronan O'Shea again. 3 of them around him. From the outside of the boot, I was going to say he let fly. This is David Kennedy now. Still David Kennedy. Looking up, playing to Kieran Keating. Brilliant possession football by Skellig Rangers at the moment. Is there an in product? He plays it outside to Fionn O'Sullivan again. It's good possession by Skellig, Mossy.
Absolutely, Gary, but they were within range there, a few of their forwards. Like, they should be doing what Martin O'Sullivan there. Have he cut at the post? They could Skellig's range could have not a
lovely ball from Aaron Sullivan to Keith Brennan. He's going with the left peg, but right into the hands of Brian Sheehan. Another little bit of Weetabix needed for Keith Brennan there, and that was gone over, but unfortunately not this time. Darragh O'Sullivan inside to Kieran O'Driscoll. Kieran O'Driscoll now looking up into the middle of the field. Kieran O'Driscoll grabbing it again. 3 loose St. Mary's men over on the far side of the field. This is Anthony Curnan, one of them. Anthony Curnan over the top, and 2 of them have been taken out of it. That's Jack Daly, I think, going through. It's a high effort from Jack Daly. The umpires consider it, so do the referee, and it's a 1-point score from Jack Daly.
Well worked by Jack Daly, yeah. Well, they wanted, the Marys needed that, Gary. They were a bit rattled there. Portmead were on top there for the last 5 minutes and playing some nice football.
Absolutely. So that's a good start for, I suppose, both sides, really. They'll be happy enough with the starting the way it's gone. I want to give a big mention to Tim and Sheila Galvin. They're watching their grandson, Fionn O'Sullivan, this afternoon. So Fionn is doing well so far. Will he lift the Jack Murphy in about 45 minutes' time? That remains to be seen. Fionn has the ball in the middle of the field. He's fouled there. And the referee, Brendan Brosnan, gives the free to him. Fionn doesn't know how to go back or forward. He decides to go back to Aaron O'Sullivan. Fionn now looking for it. Micheál O'Sullivan making the run. This is Dara O'Sullivan. Dara into the middle now to Bernard Walsh, who's finding himself really loose in this opening half or the opening quarter. Bernard Walsh strays it outside here now to Martin Sullivan. Martin Sullivan has the brother Micheál inside him. He encourages him to go, and goes Micheál. Micheál twisting and turning his man. There's a great chance for Micheál Sullivan. I think he's pulled it to the right and wide. He has.
He didn't bring his shooting boots today, Gary. I think there were 2 shots that he had there and 2 wides that should have been scores for Skellig Rangers.
Micheál O'Sullivan made the run, got it from the brother Martin, but you're right, the shooting boots didn't arrive in the parcel for that one. But anyway, Brian Sheehan again finding his man with great kickouts, precision kickouts, Brian Sheehan all the time. And St. Mary's now trying to work this ball in around the house, and it can drive it in. No ball is being sent in the general direction of Ty Connor yet. This is Jack Daly. Over there inside, that's Cian O'Donoghue who's got away up from defence.
Darren Casey there.
Darren Casey as well, and this is Kieran Driscoll. This is Darren Casey over on this side of the field, and here comes Darren Casey now. Darren Casey traps it with the right and blocks it with the left and lifts it up and solos with right and left, and Alex Coffey now trying to work his way inside. Still Alex. Left-footed effort from Alex Coffey. I think he's pulled it to the left and wide. That's 2 wides apiece now, Mossy.
Absolutely, that was one. I don't know, it was a bit speculative from Alex. Could have played it into a better position.
Very little between the sides so far anyway in the opening.
It's a cagey contest, Gary.
It is.
Probably Skellig Rangers on top on the possession stakes, you know, playing a lot of the football.
Absolutely. Now the kick out from Padraig O'Sullivan again. Out to the middle of the field, Aaron O'Sullivan breaks it, but he doesn't break it at all because it's a brilliant catch there by Jack Daly. Inside it goes Anthony Cornan now. Anthony sprays it into the middle to Darren Casey, looking up. Sean Kennedy now attacking him. This is inside and it's opened up for Anthony Cornan. Here's a chance, and that must be a point from Anthony Cornan right in front of the posts. He makes no mistake.
Well worked by the Marys that time. Great catch by Jack Daly in the middle of the field. He's winning that midfield battle, Gary.
Yes, St. Mary's coming into a little bit more now in the middle of the field. It's 3 points apiece here. Sinead Fiona and Niamh Keating, they're sisters of Kieran. You're tuned in Sydney, guys, and I'm wishing you all the very best of luck. And I got a text from Eilish O'Shea, who's the sister of Ronan O'Shea last night. She's got the rosary beads and she's got the prayers book out, so it's working so far in there, ladies. Free in the middle of the field to Skellig Rangers, not sure what it's for, but this is the aforementioned Ronan O'Shea, and he takes it quickly to Martin O'Sullivan. Clock tells us nearly 15 minutes gone in the South Kerry final here. It's 3 points apiece. That's great surrounding by the St. Mary's men, and that's over carrying by Ronan O'Shea. That's great bottling up by St. Mary's there, Mossy.
Yeah, that's what they do, and they did it well there that time.
Anthony Cornan again. Aidan Walsh spraying it out here to Kieran Driscoll. Getting on a good bit of ball here, and O'Sullivan standing him up. This ball played inside now again to Ben O'Donoghue. Brendy Murphy's his closest marker, trying to get inside him. Has got inside him. Fists it high and fists it over the bar, and that's the lead for Ben O'Donoghue. It's his first score of the game this afternoon.
First time getting inside Ben. There's a good old battle going on there between Brendan Murphy and Ben O'Donoghue. Ben got the better of Brendan there for the first time.
So 4 points to 3 now. St. Mary's hit the front. 16 and a half, 16:44. Got in the clock, Padraig O'Sullivan to take the kick out. 4 to 3. It is a good kick out. High they go for Kieran Keating when they're pushing the back. The referee didn't see there was. It's Fionn Sullivan picking it up to David Kennedy. Now Kieran Keating on the far side of the field. Approaching the 45. He's now gone inside the 45 metre line. Still Kieran Keating under pressure now. Looking up, trying to drive a high one inside for Keith Brennan, but it was a poor one. And Darren Casey mops it up nicely for St. Mary's and gives it outside again to Alex Coffey. Alex Coffey, the centre of the defence now is open. Skellig need to close that centre of the defence if they can indeed. Bit of pressure. Daniel Daly winning the ball inside to Alex Coffey. Alex thinking of a 2-pointer. He certainly has the distance. Has he got the accuracy? He hasn't. Alex Coffey has pulled it left or wide. There's 3 wides now to St. Mary's Bossy, 2 wides to Skellig Rangers.
Yeah, the second wide from Alex there, I think, is that as well.
Very little in it though in the first 16 and a half minutes.
You know, they're cagey. They're finding, there's a bit of respect for both teams here. That, they're doing nothing fancy, just keeping the ball close to their chest.
Padraig O'Sullivan taking a quick one. Oh, it's gathered by Dara. Dara O'Sullivan made the run there. Being fouled. That's a high one around the neck there by Daniel Daly. Quickly taken here now. This is Ger Sullivan getting his first touch of the ball this afternoon. This now is Sean Kennedy. Sean Kennedy plays it over there to Fionn O'Sullivan. Fionn gives it inside to Dara O'Sullivan again, playing a very deep role, Dara O'Sullivan now. A role that usually he doesn't play too often for Skellig Rangers. He's a good scoring forward, but he's playing very deep at the moment. Aaron Sullivan to Kieran Keating now. Looking up, Dara O'Sullivan facing him. Still Kieran Keating. He went ahead 10 yards and now he's gone back 15 yards, but he safely plays it back to Dara O'Sullivan again. Micheál O'Sullivan looking for it. Very cagey build-up by Skellig Rangers. Dara to Seamus O'Sullivan. Started the game ahead of Stephen O'Sullivan. Plenty of O'Sullivans in this team, and here's another one of them, Fionn O'Sullivan. We've broken the O'Sullivan monotony now because Bernard Welch is on the ball. Bernard Welch now looking up and slipping there was Jack Daly. Still Bernard Welch in full flight. This is Micheál Sullivan now. He's tried, has said 2 wide so far. Unfortunately for Micheál, he has got 3 wides now in this contest. Referee's attention is being called to something, Mossy.
Don't know, the linesman is pointing at something. Is it a 3-up or something like that? It's a 3-up breach, I think that could be it.
3-up breach.
Yeah, Portmeal, look, there's...
I'm not sure now what the argument is.
It's nicely pointing both ways, Gary. That could be 2.
Well, if it's
could be 2 frees.
If it's the 3-up breach, it's the Mary's forwards that are down this side of the field. So it has to be a free the other way. Yeah, I think he pointed the wrong way because it was Skellig Rangers that were attacking, so it had to be St. Mary's that caused the breach. Yes, I think it is. It's a breach by St. Mary's. They hadn't got enough back, so it's a 14-yard free, I would presume.
Yeah, they were guilty of that as well in the semi-final, Gary, you know, and we think now that they should be well used to the rules at this stage.
Yeah. Keith Brennan, anyway, to tip this one over. You'd imagine this would make it 4 points each.
Absolutely.
Right in front of the posts. There's Keith Brennan, and there's a point for Skellig Rangers. That brings them back into it. He's the top scorer with 8 points in the championship so far, Mossy.
Skellig Rangers will be delighted to this, Gary. If you said to them yesterday 4 points all with 20 minutes gone in the game, they would have taken their hands.
They certainly would. Brian Sheehan. They're splitting their full back line now. They're trying to entice Skellig Rangers to the corner forward, but they're not doing that. Skellig are holding their own around the middle. So Sheehan goes down the middle, and up they'll go for it. Kieran Keating breaks it. In fact, Dara Sullivan, they're broken over there. Was that a foul committed by, I think it was, by Kieran Keating over there. He retreats inside of the middle out to Ben Donoghue again, getting the head there of Brendan Murphy. Out it goes to Conor O'Shea. Still Conor O'Shea. Nice play now by a high one, but a right into the belly of Padraig O'Sullivan. Here's Ronan O'Shea. There's a big open country in front of Ronan O'Shea, but he's finding it hard to get out of defence. Hand is up by the referee. He's giving him the free. Play on, he says. This is Brendan Murphy now. This is David Kennedy. David Kennedy inside to Fionn O'Sullivan. Fionn gives it to Bernard Welch again.
He's covering a lot of ground today, Bernard Welch.
Just going to say to you, Mossy, I was just going to bring in you. Bernard Welch is doing a Trojan amount of work in this half-back line.
Yeah, and they need him to, you know, if they're going to get a result here, he's one of their main players.
Great ball by Sean Kennedy. Long one inside, looking for Kieran Keating. Oh, I thought maybe there was a foul there. Dara O'Sullivan lost it. See, Kieran Keating tried the hop. The hop didn't come up to him. He needs support. He's isolated inside in this corner. Sean Kennedy was the closest to him. He goes for an ambitious from Jack Daly.
Stupid.
That is a really high one on Fionn Sullivan. Not sure what colour this is, Mossy, but it's a definite yellow and it's borderline red.
It was a crazy tackle, so it's up to the referee.
Yeah, crazy tackle. Very high one.
Probably yellow, Gary. But
probably yellow. I suppose he'll argue that he was committed himself, but I don't know. Fionn Sullivan has held a right bell to this one.
Absolutely.
What's the colour of the card going to be from Brendan Brosnan?
You could tell a tale, Gary.
Yeah, it is. How high was it?
Yellow.
It's yellow. I think he's a lucky boy, Mossy,
and
I'm being neutral about that. I think he's a lucky boy.
Absolutely. It could have been red as well, Gary. I'll give you that, yeah.
Could have been. It was a very high challenge.
And there was no need to put in that tackle. I mean, if he tried to take the ball off him rather than going for the man straight.
Well, Finan, thankfully, is okay and he's ready to resume. I think the Mary's guys are trying to explain the tackle there. But anyway, no harm done, no stretcher required. That's the main thing.
Keith is going for a 2-pointer here, and I think he's done the right thing here.
I wouldn't rule out Keith Brennan going for this one, and here he does. It's pulling high, but it looks to be pulling to the right and wide, and it is. And Keith Brennan is 4 wides now for Skellig Rangers, 3 wides for St. Mary's. We have the Valentia team being honoured here at half-time. We'll be covering that for you as well. But at the moment, we're fully concentrated on 4 points apiece here. Brian Sheehan now, splitting the defence again. What's Brian's decision? Kieran Driscoll making a run. He's got a bit of a yardage now on Martin Sullivan. That's a poor kick out by Sheehan. Oh, but unlucky to get his hands on it there was Dara O'Sullivan, but it just found St. Mary's man over there. Kieran Driscoll has it now for St. Mary's. Plays it back to Conor O'Shea. Connor's got Darren Casey in front of him. Still Conor O'Shea. He's Aidan Walsh in front of him. Aidan Walsh, a man that hasn't got much on the ball so far.
Nothing, Gary. But and a goal is going to be crucial here today, Gary, because both defences are tight. There hasn't been anything looking like a goal so far, but it makes a big difference.
This is Alex Coffey.
High tackle.
High challenge by Micheál Sullivan. That'll be a free in. We'll come back for this one. That'll be a free in. Micheál Sullivan, a high challenge around the neck of Alex Coffey.
More awkward than anything, Gary.
Yeah, that was definitely an awkward one. So Brian Sheehan, there he is. I was just looking, saying Brian Sheehan should be on his way up. No sooner had I said when Brian Sheehan has arrived up to.
Is this a 2-point territory, Gary, or is it inside?
It's hard to see from here where the sun is shining into our eyes. I think he's actually bang on the D. I think from where I'm looking at it.
Did he put it on the ground here?
I would think so. I think his. Anyway, we'll know in a minute if it's an orange flag or a white flag. But Brian Sheehan slightly to the right of the post. He'll probably aim for the village of Waterville and let the rest of it do. Float it in, 4 points apiece.
All right.
My watch says 25 minutes gone. That scoreboard clock is stopped. Brian Sheehan pulls it over the bar. The colour of it's a white flag for Brian Sheehan. So the Marys lead again, as the clock is giving a bit of trouble over there on the far side, but it's 25:16 is the correct time.
No, it stopped for the injury.
The kick out to come now from Padraig O'Sullivan. Padraig was about to play a quick one, but the referee decided to give him the benefit of the doubt to take it again. So here comes Padraig Sullivan. 5 points to 4. St. Mary's lead. Martin Sullivan and Kieran Driscoll both going high for it. There is a break. Conor O'Shea trying to get on the break. Good shoulder there by Bernard Walsh. And a retaliation by Kieran Driscoll. And now that ball, is it being brought forward? It's not, says the referee. I suppose the ball was
slippy conditions there, underfoot conditions.
Yes.
Gary, both teams are slipping a small bit.
Very heavy in front of the stand there, I think. Here's Ronan O'Shea now. Still Ronan. Hand is up by the referee. It's a free to Ronan O'Shea, but the referee says play on. This is Finan O'Sullivan. He's recovered from that heavy knock there. Here's Seamus O'Sullivan. Seamus hasn't got on much ball either so far. He's his hands full inside there on Jack Daly, or is it Ben Donoghue? And this is Sean Kennedy. Lovely ball to Kieran Keating. Kieran Keating. Micheál Sullivan got inside him. Dara O'Sullivan plays it over to Aaron O'Sullivan. Or Sean Kennedy. Sean Kennedy now inside for. That's Ronan O'Shea. Ronan pulled and Jersey pulled twice. That's a free in. Oh, that's a poor decision now, Mossy.
Absolutely, Gary. That was a stonewall free for Skellig Rangers. That should have been a free in.
Stonewall free. You couldn't describe it as better. Ronan O'Shea pulled not only once, but he was pulled twice.
He was nearly rugby tackled.
He was, yeah. Poor decision. Anthony Cordan now. Now if St. Mary's going to score out of this, Skellig Rangers will have a serious gripe. Ty Connor getting his first touch of the ball. I say Anthony Cordan strays it across to Aidan Walsh. Aidan Walsh now, it's opening up for Aidan Walsh. But I think he has pulled it to the right and wide. 4 wides now for St. Mary's. 4 wides for Skellig Rangers. And 5-4 there. I'm surprised with that decision by Brendan Brosnan.
That was a clear-cut free, Gary. It should have been a free for Skellig Rangers. 21 yards out. I don't know how he gave a free out. But as a Mary's man, I'm not complaining.
No. Here's Padraig O'Sullivan in here with the kick out again. 5-4. Padraig drives it out. Kieran Driscoll and Martin Sullivan. Martin got ahead of his man this time, which was probably the clever thing to do. But Jack Daly steps in. Jack Daly with him is Bernard Walsh. Giving it inside now to Ben Donoghue. The runner from deep is Aidan Walsh. Aidan Walsh hit the deck there. This is Ben Donoghue again trying to turn Brendan Murphy. Ben pays it outside to Anthony Cordan. Will we see the brother Sean introduced at some stage? Usually he comes on in the second half of matches. This is Cian O'Donoghue getting away there from David Kennedy. Back to Anthony Cornan again. And now spraying it outside to the left-hand side of the field, where Cian O'Shea. Good possession by St. Mary's. Daniel Daly back to O'Shea again. Inside him is Micheál O'Sullivan. Micheál O'Sullivan doing a very good piece of defending.
I tell you, he's done great defending today. He mightn't have the shooting boots on, Gary, but he's tackling very well in the defensive duties.
Here's David Kennedy. Give this man road and he'll bring the ball forward for you. And there he goes. He's on solo number 5 at the moment. Still David Kennedy. If they can scrape across the field here, Martin O'Sullivan is absolutely, totally on his own. There's nobody near him. Bernard Walsh spots that. They've switched the style of play to Fionnán O'Sullivan, the captain. Fionnán. Lovely ball for Kieran Keating. That's a brilliant pass by Fionnán O'Sullivan. Inside to Bernard Walsh. It's open up. Here is Micheál Sullivan from corner back to corner forward. And Micheál has got his score.
He has his score.
Try it, last you will succeed. Micheál O'Sullivan gets his first score of the afternoon. Good football there by Skellig Mossy.
Absolutely. They're really putting up a battle here. Their tails are up, Gary, at the moment, and they seem to be dictating the game to the Marys.
5 points each. 29 minutes gone. 29 minutes and 7 seconds. This could go down to the wire, as Mossy said. It could be a goal to decide this one. Brian Sheehan again.
We've the hootering operation here today as well, Gary, I think.
Well, there's about 500 cars outside with plenty of hooters anyway. If someone goes to pop out to a car, we'll wait and see. Loose one outside, but Darren Casey does well to trap it and to gather possession. Slippery conditions out. Dara O'Sullivan hit the deck there. That's Alex Coffey. Into the middle here now, Aidan Walsh. This is Kieran Driscoll. High one from Driscoll. That's a brilliant kick. It's debatable. It's 50-50, Mossy, to be honest. It is wide.
There's a bit of controversy here.
Yeah, he's given it as wide.
Yeah, it's gone as wide, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think, well, putting my neutral cap on me, it wasn't far off it, to be honest with you. I'm not sure was it a wide or a point. But anyway, it stands as a wide. Debatable. That's the word to use, I'd say.
Yeah,
whether it was, it wasn't. Padraig Sullivan out to the middle. Martin Sullivan goes high, breaks it down. Kieran Keating is down there. There was a clash of heads there between Kieran Keating and Alex Coffey. Yeah, Keating got it into the head there as he was going down for that one.
Clock has stopped again.
And the physio is being called. It's an entertaining first half, Mossy.
Absolutely, and for the neutral as well. It's sporting game of football. It's still in the balance, like.
Well, the great Valencia team, Mossy, being honoured.
Absolutely.
At half time here.
A lot of generals in that with 8, 9 and 10 South Kerry Championship medals. The great Pat O'Connor, I was talking to him during the week, and he says this is his final bout today, 2000. Great servant of
2000 was his final game, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
It was indeed. Mike Pat O'Donoghue, a former St. Mary's player, we want to wish you the best of luck. You got engaged during the week. There'll be no fella getting engaged here today anyway, I can guarantee you. There's no love lost between any of these. Kieran Keating has recovered. He's about 80 yards out from goal. And my watch tells me 31 minutes. Kieran plays it over to Dara. Back to Kieran again. Open country now. Kieran slips it inside for Ronan O'Shea. Ronan O'Shea with a beautiful score. Cracking point from Ronan O'Shea. A very well worked free there, Mossy.
Absolutely well deserved by Skellig Rangers. They're the team that have played the most football in the first half. And
that's Ronan O'Shea's second point of the afternoon. 6-5 now. The underdogs lead. I think you were telling me that the Mares were 4-1 on favourites.
4-1, I think, yeah, on the bookies this morning.
Well, a high one out to the middle of the field. It's a long way from being over. What way is this ball gone? Skellig Rangers are saying 'tis theirs, but Peter Lyons is saying it's not. It's the St. Mary's ball. 6-5. We've 32 minutes played, but we have had a stoppage. There'll be about another minute and a half to 2 minutes, I would think. Cian O'Shea looking up now, seeing what his options are. Give it again to Alex Coffey, into the middle to Dara O'Sullivan. Dara to Kieran Driscoll. Kieran Driscoll has fumbled it and he's lost it, but he's got it back again. Kieran Driscoll was lucky to get away with that one.
Absolutely.
He juggled with it. Here's Aidan Walsh now. Aidan Walsh peeling away Darren Casey. Still Darren Casey. Back again. A high one from wide. Jack Daly. It's forced it to the left and wide. 6 wides for St. Mary's, Mossy. 4 wides for Skellig Rangers.
Yeah. They could tell a tale at the end of the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a set of keys there found if you want to come there to where the shop is. And
So Padraig O'Sullivan to take this one.
We're sending stuff here right under the camera.
I think kind of tactically at the moment, Mossy, I think Skellig are I wouldn't say outwitted St. Mary's, but tactically they seem to be doing a little bit better, don't they?
They're on top. The Marys, Skellig Rangers are dictating the game at the moment.
Yeah, Fionn Sullivan winning a break there in the middle of the field. Plenty of running inside. Kieran Keating hoping it goes over Kieran Driscoll's head. Kieran Driscoll got a hand, he's missed it. Keating is in. There's a goal on here. Kieran Keating! Oh, free out, said the referee. Maybe he charged, Bossy, I'll be honest.
Probably, I don't know.
Maybe.
St. Mary's are lucky. There goes the hooter now, Gary.
Maybe he charged. It's debatable again. Brian Sheehan stood his ground. Kieran Keating went at him. Anyway, a lot of talking points. We've got the 14-yard free that Ronan O'Shea didn't get. We've got the kick from Kieran Driscoll that maybe looked to be a point, but that was waved wide. That's another debatable one. Here's Ben Donoghue. The whistler, the hooter is gone. Alex Coffey trying to work his way in. Daniel Daly with it. Calling for it, Conor Shea coming from deep. There was Cian O'Donoghue. Daniel Daly's come all the way 60 yards out at least. This is back to Darren Casey again. Darren Casey getting inside Ger Sullivan. Hooter is gone. Still Darren Casey. Referee leaving it go. Daniel Daly for a high one. This is curling. This is another debatable one. That is 1 pointer from Darren Daly. And that is the half-time whistle. Mossy Coffey, we've had an entertaining first half.
Absolutely. Mary's lucky to be level at half-time there. Portmagee played the better of the football. Lots slicker with the passing and stuff like that. Probably unlucky maybe not to have another free.
A few talking points on both sides. The Ronan O'Shea free, which was definitely free. Not sure about that penalty. And Kieran O'Driscoll debatable. That could have been a point as well.
And the Jack Daly card as well.
Yes,
you could talk about
possibly.
that as well, like, you know.
Anyway, an entertaining first half. We'll have the announcement of the 25 Jubilee team, Valencia, in just a few moments. Stay with us for all of that. It's level pegging here in Waterville. St. Mary's 6 points. Skellig Rangers, in fact, I think St. Mary's are leading by a point, Mossy, at the break. By calculations, the scoreboard is giving them a lead in here. We'll tot up our scores here now. Brian Sheehan is 2. Jack Daly has 1. That's 3. Ben Donoghue's gone 4. Daniel Daly is 5. I make it 6-all. Yeah, it's 6-all. The scoreboard, I think, is wrong. 6 points apiece here. We'll take a break. We'll have the second half very shortly.
Skellig and 2 South Kerry Championship medals. Patrick Sullivan, ladies and gentlemen. Number 2 was Raymond Knight. Raymond, the tenacious defender who did everything in the cause for Valencia, one of the great Line family. Raymond Line, ladies and gentlemen. Number 3 was Mark O'Sullivan on that day, and he's represented by his niece, Caitlin O'Sullivan. Mark went on to eventually earn county intermediate medal and 1 South Kerry Championship medal. Mark O'Sullivan, ladies and gentlemen. Number 4, PJ O'Sullivan, created a record that day with his son Patton goal, first forward and son Kerry to win the South Kerry Championship medal on the same day. So, PJ O'Sullivan, ladies and gentlemen. Number 5 that day was Brian Murphy. Went on to captain the 2005 team. Has numerous medals with Valencia underage level and senior level. Brian Murphy, ladies and gentlemen. Number 6, John Daly, winner of numerous South Kerry Championship medals, county intermediate, and a county club championship medal. Captain South Kerry to a county under 21, county championship. John Daly, ladies and gentlemen. Captain on the day, Patrick O'Connor, tenacious winner of 3 South Kerry Championship medals. Great defender, but fit in anywhere in defence. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the captain on the day, Patrick O'Connor. Number 8 that day, lads, Sean Murphy, represented Kerry at all grades, won numerous South Kerry Championship medals, and had an amazing game that day. Number 8, lads, Sean Murphy. Number 9, lads, Paul Cullen, sadly no longer with us. A great midfielder with big shovel hands, who probably one of his greatest displays was in that final and in 2005. Was found the match on the 21 final. The display was recorded now, many people would be talking about it still. Paul is represented by his wife Karen here today, lads. Paul Curran. Barry Murphy, ladies and gentlemen, number 10 on the team. Barry was only 16 years of age and scored the winning goal against St Mary's in the quarter-final that led us on the way. Barry Murphy, ladies and gentlemen. Number 11, Stevie O'Connor. Stevie represented the club at all ages and represented Kerry at junior level. Stevie is tenacious, half forward or defender. Stevie O'Connor, ladies and gentlemen. Number 12, Martin Tardy, represented by his father, John Tardy. Martin was a great forward. He was a big loss to us when he immigrated to Australia, but has now gone on to bigger things, producing Group 1 winners in Australia. Martin Tardy, ladies and gentlemen. Number 13, the evergreen Pat O'Connor. On that day, he equalled the record by James O'Connor for his results of 10 South Kerry championships. Pat won medals at county championship level at senior, intermediate, junior and novice. Pat O'Connor, ladies and gentlemen. Number 14, John Shanahan. John was one of the best forwards Valencia ever had and went on to become man of the match on that day. Represented Kerry at all levels and played so happily for the club right up to 2005. He also played in 2005. John Shanahan, ladies and gentlemen. Number 15 was the match winner on the day that scored an amazing goal. Represented Valencia and South Kerry at both grades. Number 15, Richard Quigley, ladies and gentlemen. Number 16 was James O'Connor, who had just been stopped on the gate, but injury prevented him, having played and won honours at all levels with Valencia United Jacob. James O'Connor, ladies and gentlemen. Number 18, Dan O'Connor, represented today by his wife, Appoina. Sadly, Dan is no longer with us, but he was a true Iron man who gave it everything for the club and every sporting league. Dan O'Connor, ladies and gentlemen. Number 19, Tommy Gilgan, playing goal most of the 80s and 90s. a stout-heart goalkeeper who gave it everything. Tommy Gilligan, ladies and gentlemen. Number 21, Brian O'Sullivan, represented by his cousin Laura O'Sullivan today. Brian was a great defender, and in 2005 he scored outstanding points, which led Valencia to win in 2005. Brian O'Sullivan, ladies and gentlemen. Other members of the panel who are unfortunately unavailable to be with us today, I'm thinking about us here today. Barry Lynch, Joe Bobby O'Shea, Sean Talby, Mike Rocky O'Shea, and Joe O'Shea. The trainer on the day, ladies and gentlemen, was Sinan Murphy, and his selectors were Michael Lyne, having served Valencia and Kerry at every level. It's been an honour for us to have Michael here with us today. And Joe Lynch, Joe probably the rock beat of understate football in Valencia through the 70s, 80s and 90s. So big round of applause then for the South Kerry Championship winning team of 2000. Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, I'm Declan Sugaroof from 3DS Designs. We specialise in property design, planning permission and construction from initial concept through to completion. We start by meeting you to understand your vision and requirements. Our first step is percolation testing to specify the correct septic tank system for your property. Next, we consult with county councils to gather their feedback before submitting the full planning permission application. Once planning permission is granted, we finalise project costs and manage the build process. If you qualify for grants, such as the Vacant Property Home Grant or SCAI Home Improvement Grants, we'll apply on your behalf. Note that these do not apply to new builds. We also handled BER assessments in-house. Throughout construction, we agree on a target completion date and work to deliver on schedule. By choosing 3DS Designs as your main contractor, you have one point of contact under one roof, ensuring a seamless end-to-end build process.
Right, and you're very welcome back here to the second half, and just to officially give you the half-time score, it is St Mary's 7 points, Skellig Rangers 6 points. We got confirmation from the referee and officials at half-time. That was a 2-pointer, Mossy, from Daniel Daly at the last kick.
Absolutely. So the Mary's just about ahead at half-time. Skellig Rangers will be delighted with their first half performance, Gary. A lot of people are expecting to be well out the gate at this stage.
First 10 minutes are vital for both sides, aren't they?
Absolutely. Even a goal here today is going to be absolutely crucial, I think.
Yeah. So, no changes in personnel. Brendan Brosnan ready to throw it in. And 7-6. Where's the Jack Murphy going to head tonight? Carstavine or Port McGee, the next half an hour, or thereabouts, will answer that question. Ronan O'Shea and Jack Daly in the middle of the field. Second half is underway. Brenda Brosnan broken down. David Kennedy trying to get onto it straight away, and it's Kieran O'Driscoll. Settling period now of this first 10 minutes. Critical. Conor O'Shea. Haven't seen much of his forays in this opening half, but no doubt you will in the second half, and he started it straight away. That's Ben Donoghue. Oh, inside to Conor O'Shea. They took their eye off him. Conor hit the deck there. He's surrounded now, and that's a free out. If anything, the referee is consistent about over-carrying the ball in here.
Yeah, a high pass there by Binner Donoghue, slightly overcooked. Probably possible goal chance on if Conor O'Shea got a right pass.
Ronan O'Shea needs to get rid of this one. He gained a few yards with it, and he was lucky enough and didn't find where he was supposed to find. This sun could be a telling factor now in the second half. It's got a bit stronger, would you believe it?
And it's gone a bit cool as well, Gary. At half time there, the sun has gone down. And
there's Jack Daly peeling away as Ben Donoghue. Still Ben. Jack continuing his run. Playing it outside here now to Aidan Walsh. Yet to score in this game. Aidan Walsh sprays it over here now to Cian O'Donoghue. Aaron Sullivan standing him up. That's Alex Coffey. Bernard Walsh staying with him. Good defending by Walsh, forcing him out and almost forcing him into It's an awkward trip for Aaron O'Sullivan more than anything else.
There was no badness in it. It was just awkward.
Just a bit of tangling of the legs there, but this is a chance now for
a 2-pointer just aside the arc, it says that. Brian Sheehan is here.
Brian Sheehan has arrived bang on cue to take this one. So this to open up a gap now. Now, Skellig Rangers from their point of view, Mossy, they'll have to stay in the tailcoats of St Mary's. If St Mary's get a goal, Skellig will nearly have to respond fairly quick enough, won't they?
Absolutely. And they have responded to everything the Mary's have thrown at him, Gary, up until this point.
Yeah, they have indeed. Here's Brian Sheehan just outside the D. To the right of the post as he looks at dead calm here now in Waterville. He's pulled this very much to the left and wide. Just the wides for the record for the first half. 6 wides to St Mary's, Mossy. 4 wides to Skellig Rangers.
Yes.
So economical enough by both sides.
Absolutely. I mean, there is no breeze of any note.
Someone needs to find a baseball cap for Padraig Sullivan. It's a long kick, but into the half back line of Cian O'Shea. Inside to the brother Conor. Conor breaking the tackle. Giving it out to Aidan Walsh. The sun becomes stronger. The heat being put on.
They're putting pressure, good pressure on the half-back line there. They're not like
Conor O'Shea's run into a cul-de-sac again. There's a turnover and David Kennedy has it. David Kennedy is fouled. That's good work by Skellig.
Absolutely. They're targeting Conor O'Shea. We said that before the game, that they would be stopping his runs up the field, and every time he gets the ball, there's 2 or 3 men around him.
Now, this is a chance of a 2-pointer for Darragh O'Sullivan. If he's able to connect it, he hasn't scored yet, Darragh. In this championship to date, he's got 5 points, and now he's got a chance of a 2-pointer to put Skellig in front again. So it's toing and froing so far. 7-6 the lead for St Mary's. This will rise the stand from where the Skellig Rangers supporters are if he can land this one between the crossbar, and if he gets the height in it, he won't be too far off it. I don't think distance will be a problem. Maybe accuracy won't be either. Here comes Darragh O'Sullivan. Short enough run up to it. Distance is not. High one. Dangerous inside. There's a drop inside there. St Mary's man pushed there. It's Darragh O'Sullivan, I think, who won that ball. Darragh with the kick and Darragh with the defending as well. And here's Cian O'Donoghue. David Kennedy following him all the way. Over on the far side. Great ball there too.
Jack Daly.
Jack Daly inside. Sean Kennedy trying to get back up onto his feet again. Anthony Cordan winning it. This is Darren Casey. Inside again. This is a great run by Jack Daly. Still Daly. Oh, he took 1 or 2 off that.
Absolutely lucky to get away with that one.
That could have been a free out and possibly should have been a free out. Across it goes to Kieran Driscoll, and this must be a score. And that
Darren
is
Casey.
a score, is it?
Yeah.
Yes, they weren't quite sure, but it's given. Darren Casey with the white flag, but again,
Conor was inside looking for the ball too, Gary. There was half a chance of a goal on there as well, and Darren decided to pop it over himself.
Kind of a debatable call there with that juggling of the ball, but anyway, the referee says he did nothing wrong. 8-6, out to the middle. David Kennedy, the smallest man in the field, grabbed it. The big boys went up, he stayed down. Kieran Keating in full flow. Still Keating, going through. Still Keating, that is a brilliant score from Kieran Keating. It could have been the net. but it ended up over the bar. That's his first score of the game, I say.
Absolutely, and they need a few more scores off Kieran, and he's well able to get the scores.
Ironically enough, the smallest man in the field got to kick out David Kennedy.
Absolutely, a great bit of stuff in fairness, David.
Doesn't prove that sometimes you might be 6'2" or 3. Doesn't always mean you're going to get it. 8-7. 5 minutes into the second half. Brian Sheehan again. Out they go, and up they go, and Aidan Walsh has spilt it. David Kennedy going down, push on the back there by Cian O'Donoghue. Fionn O'Sullivan, solo and go. Martin calling for it. Skellig opening their legs now. Martin O'Sullivan pushed in the back. That's by Alex Coffey.
There's a card here. There's a man
There's
down
a blood sub, I'd say. It's Fionn has recovered. It's Martin O'Sullivan, I think, who's gone down. Looks like Martin O'Sullivan there, yeah. It is.
It's anyone's game at this stage, Gary. It's still in the melting pot, isn't it?
It is definitely, yeah. Yeah. It's a good final, to be fair to look, the conditions are heavy enough, but in fairness the pitch is holding up well, but it's pure championship football, Mossy, isn't it?
Absolutely. There's no quarter after given this.
No. Well, we did say at the start that down through the years when these sides met, there was very little between them. Remember, Skellig Rangers were the last team to beat St. Mary's in the championship. That was 3 years ago here. It went to extra time that day. It won't go to extra time today if it's a draw, because we'll have the flash lamps out if it does. But there's a replay in the event of extra time. This is a huge kick from Darragh O'Sullivan now. Huge, massive. He's a good 60.
It'll be dangerous dropping into the square as well, Gary, if he doesn't put it over.
All the big guns are in around the square. Here's Darragh, 8-7. He's connected. It's floating high. It's a two-pointer! Cracking kick from Darragh O'Sullivan. Well, I did say to you, Mossy, at the start of the game, if this fella gets his shooting boots on him, he's as good as anyone, not only in South Kerry, but in the county at the freeze.
Absolutely.
It's game on here.
Free.
9-8, Skellig lead. Ronan O'Shea with a high tackle. That's a free out to St. Mary's. Conor O'Shea. Solo and go. Cian O'Donoghue. Cian gives it up along the line here. This Oisin Moran, the captain. Oisin into space. This is Ben Donoghue. Standing him up is Brindy Murphy. Ben Donoghue. Tight angle. That's pulling away to the left and wide. There's no need of discussing that one. There's no debate on that one. 8 wides to 4. St. Mary's lead in the wides, but Skellig Rangers lead on the scoreboard. 9 points to 8 here now. Padraig O'Sullivan. The sun is in his eyes. I'm surprised he hasn't got a baseball cap. I'm surprised nobody's come from the sideline into him with a baseball cap.
Cian O'Donoghue, Gary, he seems to be carrying a bit of a limp there. He's limping around the field there.
Out to the middle it goes again. Ronan Shea goes high. Ball is there to be won. Was a touch by Aidan Walsh. Referee says it wasn't. It's loose. And David Kennedy once again nips in.
Skellig Rangers are fighting for everything out there in the middle of the field at this point in time, Gary.
Martin Sullivan to Sean Kennedy. Out of that maze comes Fionn O'Sullivan, the captain. Fionn inside to Mihal. Fionn is from the Glen. Mihal is from Ardcost, but they're with the same club. Here comes Mihal O'Sullivan, taking on Cian O'Shea. An ambitious effort from Mihal O'Sullivan. I think he'll admitted that the score wasn't on either. First wide of the second half for Skellig, 5 wides in total. The bench could play its part, Mossy, too. Tired legs will come into play here in the last 10 minutes of this match.
Yeah. Skellig Rangers are on top at the moment, Gary, and they have the bit between their teeth.
9-8. Brian Sheehan. Kick out towards the middle of the field. Bernard Walsh goes high, breaks it down, but only into the hands of Jack Daly. Still Jack Daly playing it back here now. And this is Alex Coffey now looking up, seeing what his options are. The runner is Aidan Walsh. He found a pocket. He found space. Still Aidan Walsh. Still Aidan Walsh going through. Lovely ball to Darren Casey. This is the goal, surely!
Absolutely.
That's a back of the net, and Ty Connor is the man that got it. That's his 3rd goal of the championship. Ty Connor. It all opened up.
Aidan Walsh, good run in fairness. Good team goal there.
Great team goal. Well worked by St. Mary's. And Ty Connor has a knack of getting goals. Skellig has messed it up coming out of defence. Here's Daniel Daly. That's a push by Darragh O'Sullivan. And all of a sudden it's gone wrong for Skellig and it's gone right for St. Mary's.
Just 1 or 2 scores, Gary. Skellig just need to hold the head at this point now. And just, the next couple of minutes is going to be crucial.
That's 3 goals and 2 points now for Ty Connor in the championship. Already the scorer of 2 goals in the previous rounds, one against Drummond, one against St. Michael's Filemore, and he's got a third one today. And this is Daniel Daly now facing this one up. 1-8-9. This to put a goal between them. Actually, there's a player down injured here in the middle of the field, and I think the referee's stopping the clock. Not quite sure from here who that is. Could be David Kennedy. Anyway, we're okay. It's Sean Kennedy, I think, is it? Anyway, we're okay to play on. Yeah, we're okay to play on, and the referee is now, I think, saying to get on with the free. Yeah, I think it is David Kennedy, all right. Lots of things happening. It's a busy sideline over there. Flags were raised and referee's attention was called, but anyway, we're ready to continue with the play. Tygo Sullivan for St. Mary's is in. Daniel Daly, he'll tip this one over. This will put a goal between them. 1-8-9. That's a point from Daniel Daly. He got a 2-pointer in the first half, and now he's got a 1-pointer.
Yeah, them 2 scores now, Gary, have totally changed the complexion of the game.
1-9 to 9 points now.
A bit of pulling and tearing going out here in the middle of the field.
Yeah, that substitute that just came in. Self and Ronan Shea testing the fabrics. Little bit of off the ball. It's broken loose there for David Kennedy if he can get down on it. He has it, David Kennedy. Into the middle it goes to Martin Sullivan. Bernard Walsh going through. Here's a chance. Kieran Keating has lost it. Micheál Sullivan has it. Oh! Brilliant save from Brian Sheehan at the expense of a point. Micheál Sullivan with an absolute bullet.
Good move by Skellig Rangers. Gary, they opened up the Mary's defence that time.
Kieran Keating is finding himself in major space, Mossy, on the 40 yards now. For this half for Skellig Rangers, or for Skellig, he's ran at St. Mary's a couple of times there.
Absolutely, he's opening them up.
He's gone in full forward. I'm not sure. Brian Sheehan, 9 to 10 points. The break in the middle of the field has gone the way of St. Mary's. That's Darren Casey. That's the substitute now that came in. Tygo Sullivan. Mentioned him in the last few minutes. That's Aidan Walsh now. Aidan Walsh
getting on more ball, Gary, in the second half.
He certainly is. Over it goes here now to Anthony Cornan. Anthony Cornan, 3 men around him. Cornan needs to get rid of it. The hand is aloft from the referee and he says it's a free to St. Mary's. 60 yards out from goal. Anthony Cornan quickly to Kieran Driscoll. 9 to 10 points. Looking for Ben Donoghue again. He's won most ball that's gone into him this afternoon, Ben Donoghue. Just got 1 point, but so far he's doing well inside in that corner. Here's Aidan Walsh. Aidan Walsh looking up. Here's another chance for St. Mary's. They're trying to walk it through. Point blank save by Padraig O'Sullivan at the expense of a 45.
Tygo O'Sullivan was going for goal. Good save by Padraig O'Sullivan. Padraig is calling the sideline over. Since means
it's a 45-metre kick anyway. Yeah, Podge has gone out giving instructions, whatever it is. Aidan Dash O'Sullivan is the Mayor Ishka.
Yeah, Keane O'Donoghue was carrying injury. I think Keane O'Donoghue's gone from the Mary's team. Big loss for St. Mary's. Keane O'Donoghue.
He is. Absolutely he is.
Look, he's down the sideline there.
You're right.
His right thigh is strapped.
So he's coming in again, Mossy.
Yeah.
He seems to be coming in again. He does. Anyway, Brian Sheehan has this 45-metre kick for St. Mary's. Good block there by Padraig O'Sullivan. He's kept his side in it with that one. 9 to 10 points. 13 minutes into the second half. Brian Sheehan out. This to put a goal between them. The Tygo O'Connor goal. And here comes Brian Sheehan. Hands on the hips. Little or no breeze. The breeze, whatever breeze was there, I think has kind of disappeared here in Waterville. Here's Brian Sheehan now with the kick. He's connecting well. It's floating high like an eagle and it's floating over the bar from Brian Sheehan. That's his third free of the afternoon. And that's opened up a 3-point gap now. 110 to 10 points. Padraig O'Sullivan to take this one. Padraig out he goes to the left. Aaron Sullivan coming for it. Was there a push in the back there, I think?
Push in the back, definitely.
There was indeed. Leaves it now to Kieran Keating to take this free. He gives it back to Aaron. Doesn't know whether to go back or whether to go forward. Now he's gone forward. Oh, a little bit of a debatable one. Well worked by Ronan Shea over there if he gets something out of it. There's a pile up over the far side. Linesman Peter Lyons says it's a line ball to Skellig Rangers. quickly taken. Martin O'Sullivan, one man in around the house now. Keith Brennan, they haven't got much ball into him in the second half. Bernard Walsh, back again to Kieran Keating. Looking up, Kieran gives it to Martin Sullivan. Martin Sullivan, he's got David Kennedy out to his left, but he goes to Aaron Sullivan. Back again to Kieran Keating. 70 yards out from goal, spraying it out to Sean Kennedy. This man will put the wheelers on it, the back burners on it. Sean Kennedy, if he gets a bit of room. Still Sean, inside it goes to the brother. That's a chance for David Kennedy. 3 of them surround him. He'll give a free out. As sure as night follows day, he's consistent with that anyway, Brendan Brosnan.
Absolutely.
Got isolated.
Good defending by the Marys that time, yeah.
Yeah. 110 to 10. Aidan Walsh.
Along the ground, bad pass.
Quickly taken. Oisin Moran. Back to Cian Donoghue, who is back. Now the high court press from Skellig Rangers, but it's not working. That goal at the moment now is the difference between the side. Oisin Moran. High one for Micheál Sullivan. Advantage given by the referee. Calling for it here now is Aidan Walsh. Getting possession. St. Mary's holding possession and doing well. And Oisin Moran. He's about a quarter of an hour away from lifting the Jack Murphy. Oisin Moran gives it inside again for Ben O'Donoghue. Brendan Murphy doing well to shepherd him out if he can, but Donoghue's done well. He's won most ball that's gone into him. Outside now to Darren Casey. Darren Casey gives it inside to Daniel Daly. Daniel Daly presses it out to Dara O'Sullivan. Dara to Aidan Walsh. Brian Sheehan has now gone out round the midfield. Aidan Walsh inside it goes again. Oh, lovely turn. This is Anthony Curnan. Oh, right into the belly
straight into
of Padraig O'Sullivan. Glorious chance of finding a net there, Mossy.
Probably would have been better off putting it over the bar, Gary. Just extend the lead. They're up 3 points. Just keep the scoreboard ticking, you know.
Well, there's a bit of a knock there too. I think it could be Fionn Sullivan, who's hit the deck for a second time.
A lot of stop-start in the second half,
yeah,
isn't
there is 17 minutes, but there's still a good quarter of an hour to play anyway. Fionn Sullivan, the goal, you mentioned it earlier on, that goals win these type of tight games, and that goal is seeming to be the difference, all right, isn't it?
At the moment, yeah, but Gary, you wouldn't be writing out Skellig Rangers yet. It's a long way to go in this game, and they have opened up the Mary's defence. So, I mean,
the referee is calling someone here. Kieran Driscoll is in trouble, is he? Yeah, he's calling him. High challenge, he said, for that tackle on Fionn O'Sullivan. So Kieran Driscoll is going into the referee's notebook.
Kieran is already after getting sent off in 2014 in the South Kerry final. I hope he's not going to be. He's not, no.
That's a yellow.
He's down in the programme as being the fastest man to get a red card in the South Kerry final.
How many minutes were gone in that one?
It's about. He was only on the field, gave the referee the notebook, and I'd say 2 minutes. I'd say he was gone again.
Well, unfortunately for him, he's still on the field to play. Is there a change over there in the far side? There is. Darren Reardon. Darren Reardon is a corner forward. He's about to come in for Skellig Rangers. Now, who's going to go remains to be seen, but Darren Reardon. Micheál Sullivan. Micheál Sullivan has been taken off. Scored 2 points today, Micheál Sullivan. But Darren Reardon is the man coming in. Now, Darren was more or less a regular Mossy. He got injured.
He got 7 or 8 points, I think, last year. Against St. Mary's in Conkeating Park. Like, he's a good free taker.
He's a very good free taker. And Darren is in anyway. Micheál Sullivan has gone off. Play continues. Kieran Keating with possession. 80 yards out from goal, though. Kieran needs to drop this one in if he can. Keith Brennan makes a great run ahead of Cian Donoghue. Their runner from loose is Ronan Shea. Ronan Shea going through. Ronan Shea! Right in front of the goal, and it's another goal. Another point for Ronan Shea. That's 3 points from play for Ronan Shea, Mossy.
Absolutely.
He's playing a blinder.
A half chance of a goal on there as well, Gary. They are cutting through the St. Mary's defence at times.
No, O'Shea could be on. He might end up on the losing team, but 3 points from play is a fair return. 1-10 to 11. Out it goes. Darragh O'Sullivan gathering quickly to Darren Casey. Conor Shea, Darren Casey. 60 out from goal. Aidan Walsh. Looking up. Clock tells us 19 minutes gone. There'll be more than that though. You're looking at about 23 or 4 minutes still in this contest. Or 24 minutes. Outside it goes to Kieran Driscoll. Kieran Driscoll floats it over. Jack Daly slipping it inside. Ty Connor. They're trying to work it in, maybe a little bit over elaboration. This is Daly, the great block by Ger Sullivan. Well, he became a daddy on Monday. I know Grania, the wife, is tuned in, and baby Fionn. They'll be proud of that block from Ger Sullivan. Here's Aaron Sullivan. This is Fionn O'Sullivan. Bernard Walsh now. Tired legs now from Skellig. There are a few fellas maybe in the wrong side of 30, but maybe you could put down that to experience. Here's Kieran Keating coming more into the game now for Skellig Rangers. Keating around 3 of them. Advantage given to him. Still Kieran Keating looking up. Lovely ball inside for Keith Brennan. He's doing well. Tried to chip it up onto himself but was unable to do it.
Keane, I don't know, good defending there by Keane. Look, Keane is still in trouble with that leg, Gary.
He is. Conor Shea. Aaron Sullivan is after him. Still Conor Shea.
The next score is going to be vital, Gary.
Vital one. Kieran Driscoll now. And Jack Daly. Midfield combination. Anthony Cornan. Floating it again. Calling for it for the return for Cornan. Driscoll. Now to Ty Connor, the goal scorer. 3 goals in the championship. Trying to get inside Ger Sullivan. Still Ty Connor, good defending by Ger Sullivan. Anthony Cornan inside there. Dangerous over here to Conor Shea. He'll go for the point. Here's Ben Donoghue. Goal! Ben Donoghue into the back of the net.
Super well worked score. I said the next score was going to be crucial, Gary, and it may very well be.
Ben Donoghue gets his first goal of the championship. They worked it well, and he blazed it into the right-hand corner of the net. From Skellig Rangers' point of view, they needed a goal, but Ben Donoghue's after getting it for St. Mary's. 2-10-11 now.
Crucial time to get a score.
Padraig Sullivan unable to find his man, and Ben Donoghue has it back again. Maybe the long ball would have been the right ball that time to relieve the pressure off his defence, but St. Mary's have. This is Darren Casey. Darren to Anthony Cornan. Nothing wrong with that, says the referee. Bernard Walsh now. Skellig definitely need to score next. Skellig need a goal to get back into this. Fionn Sullivan. Middle of the field. 2 of them hanging off him. Eventually he gets his free. 2-10, 16-11. 5 in it. Kieran Keating. Darren Reardon is in at the corner. 22 minutes gone now, but there'll be a little bit more, possibly about 20.
It's getting a bit dark here, Gary. I think they'll have to turn the lights.
I'd say so.
We're going by the scoreboard anyway.
I'd question another thing, Mossy. I know it wasn't your call as a board member, but I think 3 o'clock was the wrong time to stage this game this afternoon.
Yeah, it might have been better if it was played a bit earlier.
2:30 would have been. We're lucky that we've had sunshine for most of today. But anyway, there's a man down injured over here. He's getting a little bit of attention.
Anthony Cornan, it says that.
Ben Donoghue has won a lot of ball that's gone into him this afternoon, hasn't he? I know he's a goal and a point is a good return, but
yeah, he's handling a lot of ball. Yeah,
he is. Now let's see where the ball is. The ball is in the middle of the field with Bernard Walsh. There's very tight marking on Kieran Keating by Cian Donoghue. I can see inside there. Bernard Walsh. I think the word Bernard is go forward anyway. Whatever hope you have, rather than go backwards. A lot of pulling and dragging here. Kieran Keating comes to make this one on his own and wins it well, Keating. Back again to Bernard Walsh. Still Bernard Walsh. They're trying to open up now. Bernard Walsh is fouled just outside the D. Dara O'Sullivan and
Bernard
Ronan.
Walsh and Kieran Keating are playing great games there today, Gary. We said that before, and the captain as well, Fionn. They're 3 main men.
Well, this free now to be taken by Dara O'Sullivan. That's Dara, all right, yeah. This is a 2-point country. He already had one before, so possibly no reason to say why there couldn't be a second one from Dara. It would keep them in it, keep them on their tailcoats as we hit down the final few furlongs of this South Kerry final. Dara O'Sullivan out. 2-pointer badly needed. 16-11. Here comes Dara. Successful there about 10 minutes ago. Can he repeat that? Short enough run up. High from Dara.
All the way.
He scored it with precision.
2-pointer again.
And with a lot to spare, Mossy.
Absolutely. They're crucial. Like in the new game, Gary, them 2-pointers are nearly worth as much as the goal. Like it just, 2-pointers there by him. And
16-13. It's still hard to call it. It's anyone's game. Brian Sheehan with the kick out again. 2-10 to 13 points. 24 minutes gone on my watch. A poor kick out. Martin Sullivan has it. Martin Sullivan. Is there a pep? Is there a kick in Skellig? Lovely ball inside to the middle to Ronan O'Shea. Oh, off the ground. We could see it from the balcony. It was touched on the ground by Ronan O'Shea. I think he lost his footing more than anything. Anyway, St. Mary's are responding again. Spirited display from Skellig Rangers. Will it be enough? That's the question, though. St. Mary's going for 3 in a row. They're going for their 40th title.
Skellig Rangers asking them plenty of questions here today, Gary.
They certainly are. Darragh O'Sullivan. Remember, Skellig didn't win it since 2006, and it was 1968 before that, before they lifted the Jack Murphy. So it's a bit of a famine back there. Let's see what's going to happen in the next 10 minutes, we'll call it maybe. Aidan Walsh coming from deep as Darren Casey. Darren to Daniel Daly, back to Darren Casey. Great position by Bernard Walsh. That's a cracking tackle by Bernard Walsh. Playing it outside here again. Oisin Moran. Oisin Moran spring it out to Brian Sheehan. Here comes Brian. 60 out from goal. There is a breach. There's a breach. There's a breach. They've only 3 up. Here's the chance. That's gone over the bar. That's gone over the bar from Ty Connor, I think, was it?
Anthony Curnan, I'd say, was it?
Was it Anthony Curnan? Well, we'll give it to Anthony Curnan. I took my eyes off it because I wasn't quite sure who got it in the end, but yeah. Kick out anyway, 2:11 to 13. Up they'll go for the break to be won in the middle of the field. Darren Casey, another shoulder from Bernard Walsh. Darren Casey playing well. Here's Anthony Curnan again, going through. Skellig just holding on now. If there were a boxer, they're on the ropes, but still 2:11 to 13. 26 minutes. We're looking at about 6 or 7 minutes still to play in this game. Alex Coffey. Still Alex Coffey. He's lost possession. Bernard Walsh doing a cracking tackle. Kieran Keating has open country. With him is Darragh O'Sullivan.
And Brian Sheehan.
The whole of the stand are urging him on, urging him forward. Martin Sullivan trying to get up there with him. Back to Kieran Keating. Maybe a 3-pointer in the offering. High from Keating. Lobby it inside. It's a chance being broken inside there. Keith Brennan has it. Keith Brennan will try and trap it down and give it himself. Kieran Keating will continue the run. Tired legs here now in Waterville. Inside to Martin Sullivan. Back to Keith Brennan. He'll go from here with the right boot, but he's pulled it to the right and wide. It was worth an effort.
Good counter-attack there by Skellig Rangers. Gary, unlucky they didn't get a score out of it, and probably half a chance at the goal with Brian Sheehan up the field.
That's only the second wide of the second half for Skellig Rangers. But the light is fading in us here in Waterville. Brian Sheehan knows that the clock is his buddy at the moment. 27 and a half in my watch. Here comes Sheehan again with the kick out. What a goal for Skellig will do for this game. Aaron Sullivan breaks it nicely. Is that... that's Darren Reardon getting his first touch of the ball. Back it goes to Aaron Sullivan. And back it goes again to Sean Kennedy. Inside to Bernard Walsh. Bernard Walsh, the captain calling for it. He drives it long inside there. Well cut inside by Cian Donoghue. And St. Mary's weathered that little bit of a mini storm. Here's Darragh O'Sullivan now to drive it out. Well, they expected a battle, St. Mary's, and they got one hell of a battle, but the experienced bunch that they are, it looks like they may be over the line. Is it 3 in a row? Maybe it's early talk yet. Kieran Driscoll has fumbled it. That's a foul.
He's on yellow.
That's a foul. He is on a yellow. David Kennedy
He's going for
fouled there. Yeah, that's probably a second yellow, Mossy.
He's looking at it. He's looking at it.
He's stopping the clock. You see, calling him aside. He's not. No,
he's taking
he's
a breather.
not.
I think he's got away with it.
A little bit lucky. Aaron O'Sullivan is going to the sidelines. Let's see who's coming in there now. That's Darragh. That's Darragh O'Sullivan coming in there. Member of the winning minor team from this year as well. Darragh has had his injuries as well down through the year, but Darragh is in. Seamus O'Sullivan is being caught. See, he's not. No. Anyway, Darragh is in.
And Sean Conan is on for the Marys.
He is indeed.
And Daniel Daly.
It's another 3-pointer, Mossy.
2-pointer, Gary, it's
or 2-pointer. I'd love it to be a 3-pointer. I'd love it to be a 3-pointer, but it's a 2-pointer. Here's Darragh O'Sullivan to take this one.
He's a man on song with his frees today.
Oh, he is, to be fair. Someone will be... Won't be us, Mossy, but someone will be picking a man of the match this afternoon. But you know something, the way it's going at the moment, the man of the match could be coming from the losing side this afternoon. It's hard to call it anyway.
Absolutely, it's a tough one.
It is a tough one. Anyway, Kieran Driscoll is taken off.
Yeah. Tyke Sullivan is on. He was on earlier on for blood sub.
Dara, massive kick for Dara. 30 minutes gone on my watch, but there'll be another 3 or 4 minutes at least. Dara composing himself. He's already got 2 2-pointers. Here comes Dara, lining this one up again. He has the eye in, he has the sharpness. He's curling it again. Oh, an inch to the right and wide.
Slightly wide, just slightly off.
7 wides in total for Skellig. 8 wides in total for St. Mary's. 2-11 to 13 points. It's up to Brendan Brosnan now what he's going to add on. A 4-point lead. That goal, that second goal, certainly was the difference from Ben Donoghue. The first one from Tyg O'Connor. But a very spirited display from the Skellig Rangers side. Martin O'Sullivan breaks it down. David Kennedy and Fionn Sullivan trying to get involved. David Kennedy went down for the ball. The ball is to be spilt loose. And again, Tyg O'Connor has it. Tyg, the man that got the first goal. Martin Sullivan following him. Tyg has got away from him. Tyg has got head. That's a brilliant kick from Tyg Connor. A 1-pointer from Tyg Connor.
Massive score there by Tyg. Well worked, got it in the middle of the field, soloed through, and did the right thing, just pop it over the bar, keep the scoreboard going for St. Mary's.
Absolutely.
They'll be delighted with that.
3 in a row now, looking very likely. 2-12 to 13 points. Padraig Sullivan now. What a kick out. 31.5 minutes gone. 2-12 to 13. The kick out again. Ronan Shale going high for it. Alex Coffey. I think it was off the ground for Jack Daly.
Absolutely. It's getting a bit dark. I don't think you saw it.
Ger Sullivan needs to get this one. Ger Sullivan will get to it. Ger will look up now. Oh, Ger took the shoulder well. Still Ger looking for the free, not getting it. Ben Donoghue. Ger Sullivan does well to try and dispossess him. Fionn Sullivan. Seamus Sullivan. Eventually one of the Sullivans gets it out. And this is Bernard Walsh now.
In fairness to Skellig Rangers, Gary, they have given it 100% here today. To a man, they couldn't do any more.
No, they could not be targeted at saying this was a poor performance. This was a really top-class performance. They probably will come out as losers here this afternoon, but a very spirited performance from them. Here's Darragh O'Sullivan now to drive it across. Oh, but a poor one. That's David Kennedy. David to Kieran Keating. Kieran Keating, 60 yards out from goal. Bernard Walsh. Roland Shea. Sean Kennedy. 2-pointer. I think he's pulled it to the right and wide.
Couple of scores there by Skellig Rangers, Gary, in the last couple of minutes. You know, they could have been a lot closer.
I suppose if you look at the overall context of it too, Mossy, you know, the first half Skellig probably will regret a few scoring opportunities they didn't take.
Absolutely. They had scoring chances there in the first half. I said it to you at half-time that they should have gone for it. Is it a 45 here, Gary?
In fact, he's giving a free in, so we'll cross off that wide. So there still remains 3 wides in the second half. This is another substitution to come on. Stephen O'Sullivan. Stephen, who didn't start this game, is coming in for the last few minutes for Martin O'Sullivan. Martin's gone to the sideline. That's his first cousin coming in for Martin. That's Stephen. He's the brother of Ger. Not only is he his brother, he's his twin brother. So they're gone into the full back line. Stephen and Ger now. Martin Sullivan can be proud of his performance. He's done very well, that midfielder. Here's Darragh O'Sullivan to take this free. High one from Darragh.
Gone wide again.
Yeah, that's an unlucky one.
Yeah.
That is 4 wides now, so I'd say it's safe to say now, Mossy, that it's 3 in a row for St. Mary's. And there's 40 titles in the bank, I'd say.
There's 5 minutes to go, Gary. And, you know, Rangers need to get a score in the next few minutes here and probably a goal at that.
Brian Sheehan now taking his time with the kick out. 18 to 13. Kick out coming from Brian Sheehan. Up it goes. Breaks over there again, and David Kennedy has it now. David Kennedy still going through. Help outside him. Looking for the free and not getting the free.
Yeah, that was touch and go there, definitely. It's the clock now that's going to come against Port McGee.
That's Jack Daly over on the far sideline. Jack Daly fouling Fionn Sullivan. I thought the first free was more of a free than that free, to be honest about it. But anyway, Bernard Welsh is going to take this one. And now
pulling him back. He's telling him to go back.
We're getting very dark, lads. We need the flashlights here.
The clock is ticking, Gary. Scoreboard says 56 minutes gone.
Yeah. 2:12 to 13. Back it goes to Ger O'Sullivan. Still Ger. Oh, Ger! Oh, lucky to get away with that. Ronan O'Shea fouled on the way out. Bernard Walsh to take it quickly. Skellig need to get this ball in around the house. Hope for the best. Or else switch it over to this side of the field. There's two loose men. Fionn O'Sullivan.
High tackle.
By Jack Daly.
Messy by Jack after getting a booking.
Yeah, he's lucky they wouldn't get a second booking in that one. Bernard Walsh. Cross here now goes to Ronan O'Shea. Going for the 2-pointer, Ronan O'Shea. No, he's pulled it to the right.
Yeah,
5
after
wides.
missing 3 or 4 scores, you know, if they went over, you know.
Maybe to try and work it in was the better option, but again, it's easy for us to say it here. 2:12 to 13. And we're definitely struggling for a bit of eyesight now. Or Brian Sheehan to come to take this one. The kick out from Brian Sheehan. Straight down the middle. Ronan O'Shea will go high. Great catch again by O'Shea. He's had a whale of a game at midfield today. 3 points from midfield. Here's Sean Kennedy. They haven't thrown in the towel, Skellig. Here's Ronan O'Shea. Back to Sean Kennedy. Coming in each other's way there now. This is Kieran Keating. Back it goes again to Darragh O'Sullivan. He'll switch it over to Fionn, the captain. Fionn plays it inside to Darren Reardon. Darren trying to get inside his man. Isolated over there.
They're after playing some super football here today, Gary, in fairness, Skellig Rangers.
Mightn't be enough, but a spirited display. Kieran Keating. Darragh O'Sullivan. Need to put this in around the house, I would think. Keith Brennan now. Still Keith. Optimistic one from Keith.
Wide again.
High and wide. 6 wides in the second half. 10 in total. And 8 in total for St. Mary's. I think
the clock is ticking down here.
Yeah,
I think St. Mary's will be glad to get out the gate here today.
I think the kind of, I don't know how would I say, the kind of a self-belief has gone in the last 5 minutes in Skellig, I think. Must say a little bit.
They needed a score or two there in the last couple of minutes, you know, just to bring it down to 3 or 4 point game.
But in fairness, they can hold their heads very high tonight, so the Skellig boys can. Maybe in defeat, but a brilliant performance. Loose again. Stephen Sullivan to go down for this one. Stephen Sullivan fouled, pushing the back. Ger Sullivan to take it. And Ger in the middle to Brendy Murphy. Brendy back to Ger Sullivan again. Ger Sullivan to Fionn Sullivan. Still Fionn. They still haven't thrown in the towel, Skellig. Still Fionn. Hitting Hope now, in around the house. That's the one to test him. Oh, he's pulled it too much. He's pulled it left and wide. That's 7 wides now for Skellig in the second half alone.
We're into the final minute, Gary.
Into the final minute.
The clock is ticking away.
And St. Mary's are thinking of, it's Mark Quigley, I think, that's coming in there. Number 21. Yes, it's Mark Quigley that's coming in. His dad was part of the 25 half-time celebration for Valencia. His mom is the chair of St. Mary's, so there'll be big celebrations in that house tonight. 2:12 to 13 points. And Emma is tuned in as well, and she's enjoying herself. I know she is out in Amsterdam. Conor Shea being called ashore. He mightn't be the player of the game to me, but to me, Conor Shea is the player of the championship this year.
Absolutely.
I thought he's had a great championship.
Always a great championship, man. You know, always done well in the South Kerry championships.
Absolutely. It's 2:12 to 13 points.
It's kind of keep ball now by the Marys, I think.
Yeah, as we approach the last few seconds of this contest, so it's going to be a 3 in a row for St. Mary's, but they were in a right dogfight this afternoon. Skellig Rangers gave them enough of it. Missed a few chances in the first half. They'll probably regret that, but overall...
I suppose, Gary, the goals were the big thing today. You know, the 2 goals, like...
Huge difference. Pound for pound, I think Skellig Rangers were as good as them all over the field.
Absolutely, only that the Marys cut him open twice, and...
It's a great run by Jack Daly. Over the top to Ty Connor. Ty back again. This is Aidan Walsh. This is Mark Quigley. Mark Quigley now giving it again to Jack Daly. Back to Mark Quigley. Back he plays it. The hooter is gone and the ball is gone. And that's the Jack Murphy heading to Carsavine. 2-12 to 13 points, Mossy Coffey. Congratulations to you as a St. Mary's man. But it was a very good final.
I'm just looking at Skellig Rangers players out there, Gary. They have given it everything absolutely to man, and they are distraught. And it's hard to, you have to feel for them.
Yeah, pound for pound, they were equal to St. Mary's all through. But you mentioned the goals, and I suppose they were the telling factor in the end. But they can hold their heads up high, though, Mossy, in fairness tonight, can't they? They can hold their heads up high tonight.
Absolutely. A lot of people in South Kerry didn't give them a chance coming here today. They were talking about St. Mary's winning by 6 or 7 points. They were lucky to be scored, that they were only for the goals. It could have been Skellig Rangers win here today.
Well, listen, congrats to Skellig. We'll have the presentation. We'll have the man of the match award for you in just a few minutes. But the final score for the record, St. Mary's 2-12, Skellig Rangers 13 points. Presentation, the cup and interviews to come very shortly.
Through by the clubhouse. So if you can make your way over for the presentation, please. And we'd ask all spectators to stay off the field, please. Thank you. Trumbull Coyle and the focus camp did this difficult time in practice in the last 2 weeks. They've been a great support of the South Kerry team. Like that, Skellig Rangers put up a massive display, and had they taken a few more of their chances, it would have gone out through wire. So congratulations Skellig Rangers, and congratulations to the winners, St Mary's and the South Kerry Championship. On behalf of the board, I'd like to thank Brendan Brosnan and his officials for the refereeing of the game, and I think it was an outstanding refereeing performance and let the game flow and a real competition. So a big round of applause for the officials and all the officials in the South Kerry Championship this year. They've given great services, officials in the South Kerry board. Mike Murati and Peter Lyons. It was their 20th year as linesmen with the South Kerry board. I think they're thinking about retiring. We'd like to congratulate them over the last 20 years, and I don't know if they'll help us out in the future, but they've given a great commitment to the South Kerry board. So on behalf of the board and the officers, I'd like to thank Peter Lyons and Mike Moriarty. On behalf of the board, I'd like to thank Steve Walker Jacob on the 20 hours of field and organising the parking and stewarding and all the facilities here. We're always well looked after anywhere we go in South Kerry and also here in Waterville. So well done to Walker Jacob. He turned out, pulled out all the stops today, and it's much appreciated. Okay, without further ado, I'll ask Dumber Walsh, sponsor of the South Kerry Championship and the South Kerry teams from Super Value and Carshavine. Dumber again is like all business people in South Kerry, huge supporter of Gaelic games and football in South Kerry over the years, and gives us really valuable support to help us run the South Kerry Championship and the underage competitions, but also prepare all teams to play for South Kerry in the county championship. And I suppose our ultimate goal is to improve football and to compete at county championship level, and that's what we intend to do over the years ahead. Without further ado, I'll ask over to the Ocean Board captain of St Mary's with the Jack Buffy Memorial Trophy. First of all, I'd like to thank Joe and all the South Kerry board for all their comfort in the match, for all their organising and everything, and for Waterville for the condition of the field. It's not easy this time of year, and to Dermot Walsh for sponsoring it year after year. It's not easy either. And I'd like to thank all the South Kerry, or the fucking St Mary's. I got blessed. I thank Sheila and everyone else involved with all the fuck. I'd rather say another game than you. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to thank management anyway for a start, for all their work over the last 3 years. Everything they've done, John, Noel, Jordy, it's not easy. And Sheila and everyone else involved with the St Mary's Club for all the work they do on and off the field. And all the Mary's supporters. It's great to see you out here today. And I'd like to thank Skellig Rangers for an outstanding game today. After all the talk all week, it would have been an easy one. There's never an easy one. And it deserves 3 cheers today. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. So that's all I'd like to thank all the St. Mary's team for all the work they do through the year. And it's not possible without you. And we'll see you all more later on. Well done.
Come on. Niall. Now I'm joined by the winning captain, Oisin Moran. Congrats, you've lifted Jack Murphy, Oisin. It was a tough one.
Jeez, it was. And that's why I didn't want to prepare a speech, because, you know, against Skellig Rangers, it's never an easy one. And they proved that today. It was a battle out there. We got over the line at the end, and that's the main thing. But it was a tough one.
I suppose they say goals win matches, and you got two of them. Skellig didn't. That was the difference.
Yeah, and they came at a crucial time for us, which is the big thing, and they do make a difference. And Skellig Rangers, I know they had their chance at the end, but the goals do make a difference. Definitely this time of year as well with the conditions, they sucked the life out of teams, and it showed it there today, really.
That 2-pointer before half-time, Oisin, too, was a huge score because he went in psychologically in front of half-time instead of being behind.
Yeah, even though it didn't feel like that inside in the dressing room, there was a lot of tension and a lot of giving out, but it's all part of it. But it definitely made a difference. It does. 2-pointers, they are huge in the game. They're massive.
It was a fine, clean game, but a very physical game, I'd say, out there to play in, was it?
There'll be a lot of lads sore after it anyway for the week. They were going over to the White Strand to dip into the water, but it just shows Skellig Rangers, they're big men, and it showed out there today. It's never easy.
So 3 in a row, you'll celebrate this one because it wasn't an easy one to win. I mean, Drummond put it up to you, and St. Michael's Belmore put it up to you in patches.
Yeah, they did. Like, it's never easy going out to Drummond Pierces to play them, and especially not the first round. And we did have battles all the way through. Even Ballyfilmore in the start of the first or the end of the first half, they really put it up to us, and it would put doubt in your mind. But every game is a battle, and South Kerry Championships, they're never won easy.
Well, listen, well done. It was a great final. I think even for neutrals here to watch it this afternoon, it'll go down in years as a good one, and long may it continue. So well done, Oisin.
Thanks very much.
Thanks. Well done. I'll get no. Thanks. Of the winning team joins me. Well, Noel, Congratulations, your South Kerry champions begin tonight.
We are, yeah. You know, it was a tough battle out there today, and we always knew it was going to be like. Skellig Rangers are a good, tough club, and everything we got out there, we had to earn it the hard way.
The bookie said he is 4-1 on favourites today, but certainly the performance, I think, by the opposition, they didn't think it was a 4-1 hot favourites for the Marys anyway.
Well, I didn't see any bookie playing out there today, did you? We don't take any notice of the bookies inside the St Mary's Club, and I'm sure the Skellig Rangers don't take any notice of them either. That's one man's opinion. Our opinion was we were going to have a battle today with Skellig Rangers, and we had to prepare for it. We did, and thankfully on the day we were just good enough to get over the line.
Were the goals the winning of it, Noel, do you think?
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. Goals in South Kerry Championship games, you know, they suck the life out of the opposition, and they give the team that get them in a big advantage. So, you know, we were lucky enough to get 2 goals. I mean, Skellig had chances. They ran the game. It didn't happen for them, and that's the difference, basically.
And you had a good spread of scores. I'm looking through there in your forward line. Ben Donoghue at 1-1, Ty Connor at 1-1, Daniel Daly inside. I think 4 of the 6 forwards scored, so that's a great return.
It is, yeah. I'm disappointed with the 2 that didn't, to be honest with you, because we'll have to have words with him, Gary. But yeah, look, you know, we have scorers. Our 6 forwards are good scorers. Our 2 midfielders can score. Our 2 wing backs, our centre back, and obviously our goalie. When we let him off the leash.
What was your words at half time to them? He got that morale booster 2-pointer before the break from Daniel Daly.
We did, yeah. You know, that was a big score for us, like coming in at half time. But we weren't happy at half time because, you know, we hadn't played well. We stood off the opposition, and we allowed them have the ball, and you can't do that in South Kerry Championship. So half time came at a good time for us. It allowed us to reset ourselves, and yeah, look, we had words at half time, but I think you'll always have words at half time. Like the time you go in at half time and say nothing is the time you're going to lose. So look, we're happy enough to get over the line in the end.
And finally, I just said to Joshua Morden, it wasn't handed on the plate to you either this year because St Michael's Valmore and Drummond put it up to you in patches.
I don't think the South Kerry Championship ever handed to anyone. I've never seen it handed to anyone. The last 3 years I've been with the club, we've had nothing easy. We went down to Renard 3 years ago with a tough battle with them. We played Sneem twice that year and the following year. You get nothing easy in South Kerry Championship. And, you know, I was talking there to a fellow there earlier on, and I said, look, at the end of the day, when the South Kerry Championship draw is made, every South Kerry team fancied their chances. Valentia fancied beating Skellig Rangers inside in Valentia. And I mean, there was only 2 points in it, you know. So look, every team, we had to go to Drummond in the first round, a tough place to go. So look, you know, South Kerry Championship is South Kerry Championship, and you know, county league positions, they don't lie, but at the same time, they don't mean a whole pile.
Yeah, listen, Noel, thanks a million. Well done.
Thanks very much.
Congrats. I have a quick word with the chairman of the South Kerry board, Joe McCrone, is here. Some of what you saw there, a fantastic final.
Yeah, fantastic final, ref very well, and I presume there's a few chances either way. It could have gone either way, but if Portmead had taken a few more chances, they were right in it, and I suppose that's good for football in South Kerry that we have a real competitive South Kerry final, and hopefully other clubs will lift the standards and pick it up, and we keep the South Kerry Championship going.
I'd say maybe a few people didn't give Skellig a chance going into the game today, but they proved a lot of people wrong with that performance.
100%, yeah. There's a lot of players there in Skellig. They've been in the final a couple of years ago as well, and they're confident lads, and they're strong players, and they're fit, and the coaching seems to be very good in Portmead. They do the right thing with the ball, just knock it over the bar a bit more, and they're a refined team.
And Joe, is that it done and dusted for the board now this year?
No, we're just having a CCC meeting now to make the draws for the South Kerry Juniors Championship, so whoever didn't play in the South Kerry Championship can play in that, and we have 5 teams entered, so the game will be played over the next month now.
Well, listen, well done. Well run off today. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, and I'd like to thank Skellig's media for covering the South Kerry Championship in its entirety, and we hope to do the same next year. It was fantastic to let everybody across the world see the South Kerry Championship, and hopefully encourage a few to come home.
Good stuff. Thanks, Joe. That's it from us here in the sideline. Well done to St Mary's. Hard luck to Skellig Rangers. It's another Jack Murphy heading to Carsavine tonight. From all of us here, a very good evening.